Okay guys, welcome back to the Triple Crown Wargaming Studio, where today we're going to be playing a War Council game with me, James the Loremaster Lamin, and our very special guest, Tim Richardson, everyone.
Hello.
If we had a studio full of people, I know you'd all be clapping right now. So, Tim runs the Napoleonic Wargaming YouTube channel. Channel? It's a war channel.
Occasionally. Yeah, it's not normally a channel me losing, to be honest.
But which is the most successful YouTube channel for Napoleonic Wargaming
in the entire world.
In the entire world, so that's pretty cool.
It's the only one, by the way. I should.
But 100% of the time, it's the best though.
Yeah,
just saying. If you're into that, make sure you check it out. We'll have a link in the description. Now, today we're going to be playing a 2,500 point competitive game of Warhammer. And what's fantastic about us having Tim down today is that he's brought his Empire with him, which is awesome because none of us have Empire remotely painted well enough to put on the channel. So thanks for bringing them down, Tim.
That's all right. I don't think they're well enough to be featured on your channel, but we'll see.
Well, we're going to be playing a 2,500 point game. We're going to be using the 20-0 scoring system that you'll find in the Triple Crown GT comp pack. You'll find that on triplecrownwargaming.com under the download section. We're going to be using the comp system from that pack as well. Now, we're both running -6 lists today, so it's a proper head-to-head. And in a true Empire fashion, it's going to be Vampire Counts, the Counts versus the Counts. And we're going to be playing the Dawn Attack scenario, but with those 20-0 scoring conditions we discussed. So I think it's time we check out the army lists.
Sounds good.
Okay guys, so it's time to go through the Vampire Count's army run through. And today we're going to be leading with the great Count himself, Mannfred Von Carstein. So he is, as you can probably guess from the gigantic wings on his model, riding a Hellsteed to battle today. Now, he's going to be joined by 3 characters in this list. He's going to be joined with the slightly less magical Konrad Von Carstein, who you can see there drinking off his swords. He's also going to have a Cairn Wraith in the list, and we've got a Necromancer, who is a level 1 wizard on the lore of vampires with a Dispel scroll. Moving on to our core units, we're going to start with a unit of 20 zombies. They have a musician and a standard bearer. Behind them, you'll see 2 units of 5 direwolves. We don't have any upgrades on these. Then, to the left, you'll see 29 Crypt Ghouls with a Crypt Ghast, or unit champion, as I like to call him. To the left of them, you'll find 35 Skeleton Warriors with sword and shield, and they have got full command as well. Behind that, we've got our only rare choice today, which is a Mortis engine, and we've taken no upgrades on the Mortis engine. And then we'll move on to our special choices, which I know Tim's particularly excited about when he saw them on the tray earlier, which is 8 Crypt Horros. Now, they've got no upgrades, and they are my infamous Zoga figures, because I just can't leave them at home. And then you'll see we've got 3 units of 5 Hex Wraiths. Now, none of these have got champions either, they're just as they come out of the box. And that is 2,499 points on the dot. We're going to say on the dot.
So here is 2,500 points of the Empire's legions. We've got mostly the armies brought from Ostermark, but they've got some Kislevite allies. Now, on the far left, you can see my Templar Grandmaster. He is from the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Next to him is a level 4 light wizard. Oh, sorry, I should say that the Templar Grandmaster is armed with a Rune Fang and the other Trickster's Shard. The light wizard, he has the Power Stone. He's also got 5 at ward save, the Talisman of 5 at ward save, I think it's called in the rulebook. So, next to him is the Battle Standard Bearer. He is a very old metal greatsword standard bearer, and he is equipped with the armor of meteoric iron. Next to him is the Gold Wizard. He's going to be on level 2. Now, one of the things I wanted to show in this battle report, hopefully I'll get the chance to do it, is that I see time and time again people say metal wizards are only good versus chaos, dwarves, those heavily armored armies. I completely disagree with that. Depends on what spells he rolls. He is only level 2, but hopefully I'll show that he can be good in almost any army. Next to him is my Warrior Priest of Sigmar. I was hoping to do one of Myrmidia, who are the people who the Knights of the Blazing Sun, that's the goddess they worship, but I didn't get him finished in time, unfortunately. He has the White Cloak of Ulrich. Don't know how Sigmar feels about that, but obviously he's all right about it. That gives him -1 to hit and gives him a 5 up ward save. So now we get into the units. Next to the characters, we have my first unit, spoiler alert, of Demigryph Knights. Now these are converted from Mornfang. They are my Kislevite ones. Hashtag doing it before it was cool. Those are Demigryph Knights. Next to Demigryph Knights is the first steam tank. Again, spoiler alert, we're going to see a theme going on here. And hopefully that's not going to end up in combat against some Hex Wraiths. Then we've got my main hammer unit. We have 13 Knights of the Inner Circle there. I've used the Blazing Sun Knights. That's the old Games Workshop Knights of the Blazing Sun upgrade kit. It's the first time I've used it. I'm really like how they look. The black and the yellow look really good together. Not 100% finished, but I'm happy with where they are at the moment. That's the unit that I'm hoping is going to be able to smash through the enemy centre and then let my other units exploit the gap. Next to them is my second steam tank, very much the same as the first one. Again, I'll be using that to assist where it can go and help in those hard charges, smash through the enemy lines. And finally, I've got my second unit of Demigryph Knights. I should say that the Demigryph Knights are both units of 4. The only upgrade they've got is they've got musicians. I don't take standards and I don't take champions in those units. I'll explain that when we get into the game. Behind them, I'm doing a quick count because I can't remember off the top of my head, 26 Halberdiers. They have a full command group, no shields, no upgrades, anything like that. And they are going to be the bunker for most of my characters. So that's it, 2,500 points of Empire. Let's see what they can do against the vampires.
Right, well guys, you see on the table we've got lots of dice laid out to set up our deployment zones for the Dawn Attack mission that we're going to be playing today. Now, as ever, we're going to start by generating our spells. Now, my wizards are a little bit unfair on Tim's wizards, I suppose. So I've got Mannfred Von Carstein, and he knows all of the spells from the Law of Death, because he is a Loremaster Law of Death. And he also knows all of the spells from the Law of Vampires, because he is, unsurprisingly, a Loremaster for Law of Vampires as well. So you'll see them here. I'm going to go through them quite quickly, because there's quite a lot of them to do, as there's 14. So we've got Spirit Leech to start with, for the Law of Death signature. Now this one is a direct damage spell, which is one of what's infamously known as Death Snipes. So it allows you to target enemy models, including characters and units. You roll a dice, add your leadership, and the enemy does the same. Whatever you beat their leadership by, they take wounds with no armor saves allowed. Moving on to Aspect of the Dread Knight. This allows you to pick a friendly unit. It's an augment within 24. And it allows you to give them fear, and if you boost it, it allows you to give them terror. Not very good for me, but I get it anyway. Caress of the Nether comes next. It's another one of those Death Snipes. Range of 12, can be boosted to 24. This one you roll 2d6 and minus the strength of your opponent, and whatever the difference is, you roll a dice for. And on a 4+, they take a wound with no armor saves. Moving on next to Soul Blight. This one is a Hex. Can affect one or all units within 24, depending on the value you cast it on. This minuses 1 from the unit's strength and toughness. We go on to Doom and Darkness next. This is a Hex as well. This one minuses 3 to the leadership value of an enemy unit that is targeted, and it can be boosted for range rather than for multiple targets. Next, we've got the Fate of Bunya. Now this one is another one of those Death Snipe spells we talked about. This one is very similar to the Caress of Lyneth, but you can't boost the range of this one. So it's only 12 inches of range. This one you roll 2d6 and minus the toughness, but you do the wounds on 2+ instead of 4+. Finally, we've got the infamous Purple Sun of Xeris. Now this one is a vortex, and everyone that is touched by the vortex takes an initiative check or is removed from play. Takes an initiative check. If they fail, they're removed from play. This one can be boosted to a larger template. We'll jump onto the Law of Vampires now. We'll start with the signature there. That's the Invocation of Nehek. So this one is a spell that gets you wounds back on your models. It affects all units within 6, 12 or 18, depending on the casting value, and it restores wounds as per the Vampire Count's Army book. We'll move on to the Van Helsdon's Macabre next. That's spell 1. This one allows one unit or all units within 12 of the caster to make an 8-inch move as if it was the movement phase. You can't charge with this move, but if you're in combat, you reroll failed hit rolls, which is pretty cool. Hellish Vigor comes next. This one is one unit within 12, or you can boost it to all units on a boosted value. And this is reroll failed to wound rolls in combat instead. Moving on, we've got our Magic Missile next, the Gaze of Nagash. This one does 2d6 strength 4 hits on an enemy unit within 24. And it can be boosted to have greater range. Next, we've got Raise Dead. This allows you to raise a unit of zombies or skeletons from fresh during the game. So you just pop a unit up in the middle of the table. This, they must be placed within 18 of the caster. Next, we've got Curse of Years. This one's a hex. So this one's a little different. You roll a dice for every enemy model in the unit you target. And on a roll of a 6, they take a wound with no armor saves. If they don't dispel it next turn, it's a remains in play. So in every magic phase after that, you roll again. But if it goes down to a 5, then on a subsequent to a 4, on a subsequent to a 3. You get the idea. If they haven't dispelled it by this point, the unit's in a lot of trouble. And finally, we have the Wind of Death. It's another magical vortex, a bit like Purple Sun. But this one inflicts hits at strength 4 instead of the usual, instead of sort of initiative checks and removes from play. Now, I've been very brief in my summary of those spells because there's quite a lot. I know we normally go slightly into more detail, but I'm sure you've all got better things to do. Now, I'm going to roll for the one wizard I do have, which is a level 1 Necromancer, and he's going to roll on the Law of Vampires. He's rolled a 1, which means he gets a Van Hals Dance Macabre. Now, normally you would keep that. It's a phenomenal spell for vampire counts, but I am going to just take another Invocation of Nehek on him instead, because I want that ability to try and get my models back. Well, now I've done my massive blow through of my spells, we'll have the slightly tamer version from Mr. Richardson and the Empire.
So I'm just laying out here my metal, my gold wizard for those old players out there, and my light wizard as well. So I'm going to start with level 2, the gold wizard. I should have mentioned on the army run through, he's also got the Dispel scroll as well. I forgot to mention that. So he has got spells wise. He's got 5 and 6. Now this is absolutely fantastic. These are the two really good spells, and they aren't the ones that necessarily rely on the armor save of the opponent. Normally on level 2, I may not take these. They're very high cast values. But I am going to take them instead. Particularly Final Transmutation. That one is you roll a dice for every enemy model in the unit, and on a 5+, it did. If they've got multiple wounds, it's a 6, but the 5+ is great. If you manage to kill one enemy model, now this is the really good thing about it in this army. If you manage to kill one enemy model, all the enemies within 12 of that unit suffer stupidity at the start of their next turn. That's a really good way of controlling low leadership armies. I once used it to absolutely fantastic effect against Skaven. Undead out of the range of Mannfred, who's going to be flying about on his horse. They may struggle if they have those stupidity.
I think it's fantastic against me. It's really good.
Yep.
Really scary, the stupidity.
Yep. Transmutation of Lead, that's cast on a 12+. That's -1 weapon skill, ballistic skill, and armour. It's okay. It's not going to be amazing against the undead, I don't think, but it's probably better than the signature spell. And, you know, -1 weapon skill, it means that those skeletons might be hitting my characters on a 5, perhaps.
They're hitting your units on a 5. Skeletons are only weapon skill 2.
There you go. So it may not necessarily be the worst one in the world. I'm pretty happy with those rolls, but how much use they get out of them, we'll actually see. Now for the Light Wizard, he is a level 4, and he has rolled this here. So no doubles. That's a bit of a shame, but he does have the Speed of Light, Light of Battle, Net of Amintok, and Biriana's Time Warp.
You've got the bashing ones, but not necessarily the sort of the missile ones.
So the Speed of Light is a fairly standard augment one. It gives you weapon skill initiative 10. It's particularly good with that -1 to weapon skill from the metal law. Pretty good. Cast on an 8. I can have it on the bubble. It affects all my units, so not terrible at all. Light of Battle. That means that I will always pass leadership tests regardless of modifiers. It's a very, very good spell. However, the number of hex rates out there means that I'm going to be replacing that with Shem's Burning Gaze. That's a signature spell, and I can either make that D6 strength 4 hits against undead. That's going to be 2d6 strength 4 hits due to the law attribute, or I can buff it to make it strength 6 with a longer range. I used this a lot yesterday in a practice game. Didn't really come off for me, so I'll see if I can make better use of it today. Next, we've got Net of Amintok. This is an incredible spell. Again, it's all about that board control. This is cast on an enemy unit. In order for that unit to basically do anything, they have to pass a strength test. There's a lot in the vampire army that's not actually that strong. Ghouls, skeletons, even something like...
Excellent against the Hex Wraiths, mate.
Yeah, Hex Wraiths, even something like Crypt Horros, they're only strength 4.
Yeah.
They are toughness 5, but they're only strength 4. So that is a very useful control spell. And then finally, I'm going to move it down here so it's away from the metal spells. We've got Biriana's Time Warp. This, again, is a great spell. It gives me ASF. That's going to be absolutely massive, because overall my Initiative is going to be equal to or higher than the enemy. Possibly not against vampires, but everything else it will be. Also gives me extra movement, doubles my movement, and gives me +1 attack. So it means that on those Demigryph Knights, or God forbid, on that Nightlock, that could be absolutely horrendous. So those are my spells. In addition, I've got a Warrior Priest. He knows 3 prayers. I hardly ever use them. We'll get into them if I do.
One of them with the flaming attacks that does extra damage to undead.
It does, yeah. We'll see how that goes. There's my spells. Not terrible. I'm pretty happy with that, Rob. Considering I had no doubles, I think that's
very
not bad
good
at all.
with no doubles. I'm just going to double check the mission, but I think that I have to roll and then deploy the units. Well, you have to roll and then deploy them rather than rolling for every unit and then deploying them.
You deploy them as soon as you roll.
That's what I thought as well.
Sure, yes.
So what we'll do is we're going to roll off now to see who's going to deploy first. This is, if you're not familiar with the Dawn Attack mission, this one's a little different to some of the others. The player that wins the roll-off deploys their whole army first, and they'll go first unless their opponent rolls a 6. So this roll-off's pretty big. Oh, bringing home the crown.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
I see we're using your dice, James. Just saying.
I'll tell you what, they were not my dice in the practice games. My Wood Elves were not impressed, sir. So, let us begin with the all-exciting dogs. Because who doesn't want some dogs in their
one
life?
difference with this to other ones is that characters can stay in the unit, so you roll for a unit with a character. If you... yes, that's it, really.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to go on to further explain. There's no need to, is it? That's fairly self-explanatory.
So what happens is I roll a dice for every one of my units. On a roll of a 1, they're going to deploy in this marked out deployment zone. That's 18 by 12. On a roll of a 2, they're going to deploy in this deployment zone. So again, 18 by 12. And then on a roll of a 3 to 5, they'll deploy in the centre one, which is 12 up and obviously just curtailed by the ends. And then on a roll of a 6, I can put them anywhere I want. As Journey said in the 80s, I'm going to say 80s, they can go anywhere I want them. So
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I'm going to say 80s. So we're going to start with these dogs. And they're going to go for a 4. So in the middle. So I think we'll pop them about here. Why not? So let's get some more units, more doggos, I think. And then I think we're going to start throwing for some blocks. So these ones are also a 4. Apparently.
The kennels are obviously in the centre of your army when you.
That's it. That's where they were encamping. So let's go with the big skeleton block. Now with the big skeleton block, I'm going to pop Konrad Von Carstein in here as well. So I've gone special character heavy today. And they're going on a 5. So in the middle. In the middle. So now Konrad is definitely not known for his subtlety. So I think we'll pop him there. As Tim said, I only roll once because I'm placing him in the unit. I'm actually going to make him face forward though, rather than sideways. So, next up, we'll go with some Crypt Ghouls. We've got 29 of those, and we're going to put a Cairn Wraith in with them. So, going to go for a 4. I tell you what, mate, it's all coming up over here. All coming up over here.
As long as Mannfred starts on one of the flanks, I don't really mind.
Oh, could you imagine? Yeah. So upsetting. So have him in there. They're great models, those plastic wraiths. Really like them. Just make sure they're tucked in back properly. So we'll take the Crypt Horros next, my infamous Zogres. And a 4 as well. Apparently so. Thrown a lot of 4s. I mean, in a minute, this is looking like a classic Vampire Counts checkerboard deployment. Yeah. So, zombies next, and I'm going to have my level 1 Necromancer in with my zombies. That's a 3. That's a central deployment as well. Well, I never. Where are you, little Necro? Oh, it's all going to go wrong now, mate. It's all the stuff we care about now.
Yeah.
So excited. Look at his little face. Look at how pleased he is.
Oh, you know what? They're not going to do it. They're all going to be centre.
Hex Wraiths, number 1. Our centre. Man, it's just going to be Mannfred, mate. It's just going to be Mannfred. Oh, this is horrible. I need to roll for Mannfred next. So I'm going to roll for Mannfred next.
Okay.
3. He's going centre as well.
You might actually be running out of room in the centre.
That's not good for him, though. If you steal the initiative, that's very not good for him. So I think he's going to pair himself here. There isn't a lot that I can There isn't a lot I can do to protect him in the centre. Oh, actually, yeah, there is. He's probably going to have to peg himself next to this unit here so that he's got some Crypt Horror cover, I think, because they're monstrous to try and help me with the cannons. It's not great because I've deployed them in not an amazing place. Didn't think about that, did I? So, next unit of Hexy Wraiths is going to be a 6 wherever I want. So, do you think we'll pop them there? And then last unit of Hex Wraiths is a 2. So that's right flank. Fortunately, because of their vanguard, that's not too dreadful for them, I don't think. And then my last unit is my Mortis engine, which is, I've got to say, guys, the Mortis engine, absolutely lovely model. Really great model. Goes together really well. Really enjoyed painting it.
I have heard that.
Yeah, I know, because this has been very much the running joke since I painted the Mortis engine. I've said a few times I think it's a really great figure, and boys have been giving me a lot of ribbon over it.
I look forward to you rolling the 1 for it, though. Oh.
No, it's a 3. So I think, should we cheese Master General it and put it sideways? There you go. If you've watched 20-0 Tactics for Cannons, putting it sideways is the bare minimum you should do against the cannon. And that is all me, I'm afraid. So, Tim, it's going to be over to you to roll for some of your units. This is a great deployment, though.
I'm going to start off with my first unit of 4 Demigryphs. These are going to be the Kislavite ones. So
in the centre.
3 in the centre.
This is going to be like a proper slugfest straight down the middle, mate. Do you know what it was? My army wasn't asleep, mate. They're undead.
Yeah, that's
They're
fair,
up at night.
Well, I just think that you were attacking. That's why you deploy first.
That's it, yeah.
Now, my Demigryphs, you'll notice I'm putting them quite to the back of the deployment zone here. I really want to stay away from James's army as long as possible. Although I'm better than it in combat, I need to thin its numbers down first. The second unit of Kislavites, these are the Bear Riders. That's going to be the centre as well. Now, as you can see, although I'm deploying them in the centre, I'm not keeping them together. This is a dangerous strategy because it means that they're not both going to be in my buffs for the General of the BSB. However, it's worth the risk, I think. So the next one's going to be, speaking of the General of the BSB, it's going to be my big Knight unit. This is the Hammer, and it goes 1. It goes on my left. Now, I'm not overly upset about that. It does mean that they're there as a good, strong flanking unit.
And what characters have you got in there, Tim?
So in there is the Templar Grandmaster. He is my general, and the Warrior Priest.
That's awesome. I thought they would be because they were the only ones on horses, but I thought I should check in case you're going to do Demigryph shenanigans or something like that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I probably should have mentioned that. So now I'm going to go with my Halberdier block. This is going to contain most of my characters. Could very much do in 1 here. I would very much like a 1 or a 6. 3. Well, no, that's not terrible.
You can get your BSB between multiple units with that.
I'll pop them there. I'm pretty happy with that.
Oh,
now we're roll for my steam tank, so I'm going to roll for pretty much the same time. First one is going to be a 5. I'm going to put that
That's in the centre.
And then the second one is going to be a 3.
The centre.
I'm going to pop that one next to it here as well.
All of that excitement about Dawn Attack, and it's not really...
well, yeah.
It's all sort of ended up in the middle. I've got a lot of figures compared to you, haven't I?
There's a lot there. I'm hopefully going to have my 1-up saves that are going to save me, but we'll see how it goes.
Right, so you would you like to see if you can steal the first turn from me?
I very much would, yes. I think that might be something I would very much like to do. I'm just going to double check if it's a 6 or a 1. I know that
I'm pretty sure it's a 6. So
I get to choose on a roll of 6.
On a roll of a 6, yeah.
I will be choosing to go first if I roll a 6, but I won't, so I won't worry too much about it.
Ooh.
Very much not. Are we sure it's not 1? No.
You love to see it. We should have done Vanguards. So you don't have any, do you?
I do not.
So I'll just zip and flip mine if that's all right. Which is going to be very unexciting. The Hex Rays can move through the buildings and the terrain as if it wasn't there. Just in case anyone's wondering why I just plonk them straight through a building. So they have Spectral Hunters, which allows them to move through actually friendly and enemy units as well, which is what's going to be so cheeky about them in this game, I think. So they were a little out of position, but that's it. So, with all of that established, I think it is time for Count Mannfred to reclaim what is rightfully his, sir. And for us to move on to Vampire Counts, turn 1. Okay, so vampire counts turn 1. There's a little bit of bookkeeping with this army because I've got the Mortis engine. So what I have to do at the start of each of my turns is I have to roll 2 dice and add the current turn number. And that's the range of my Reliquary's aura. And that adds 1 to the regeneration saves of any units inside the aura. And if they don't have a regeneration save, like the vast majority of my units don't, they get a 6+ regeneration save. So hopefully we're going to bump a reasonable size here. But the Reliquary's aura is going to be 7, 8 inches. So measure that from there. So at the moment it's getting the zombies and the horrors, and actually it is clipping Mannfred, but he is going to move obviously, so we've got to think about that. So no charges, because nothing's in range to charge. So it's just going to be on to remaining moves. So we're going to be really careful about this. So these guys are in march range. And as a result, I think they're going to have a little swifty 16. Now, none of the other Hex Wraiths are. So these ones are going to come. Is there a way I can get Mannfred in a useful position? Probably not. So these ones are going to come across 8. Like that. And these ones are just going to buff up 8 too, I think. Yeah. So remaining moves, the dogs, which I didn't vanguard. We'll just bark them up towards the centre line. These ones are just going to have a little wheel and a move. So just so we're clear, everyone, all of these other units are in range to march. Now the Mortis engine is a chariot, so it doesn't get the joys of marching. I'm just going to check its movement, but I'm right, it is 8. So we'll start out with some Crypt Horros. Go to there. Shored myself up quite a bit. These guys can only move. Oh, got to also roll for Konrad. Oh, a lot of bookkeeping. So on a roll of a 1, 2, 3, he gains stupidity, and on a roll of a 4+, he is frenzied for the turn. So he is stupid. So he'll take his stupidity test, which is leadership 10 because he's by the big man, which he passes. So we'll return to normal service of moving him up to about here. These ghouls here are just going to probably find themselves getting killed by all those knights. But that's nice for them, isn't it? Zombies. Brains. Thriller Dance intensifiers. And we are going to move the Mortis up, keeping him on that little sideways glance from those horrible steam tank cannons. In fact, he's going to sideways himself, side saddle himself even more. Big man, I think he's just going to have to hide. Not ideal, probably not what I want to do with him at this point, but I think that's going to be a bit of a, because of those cannons, I think that's going to be a bit of what he's got to do turn 1. So we're going to move on to the Vampire Count's magic phase. Oh, are you ready, Tim? It's going to be a big one, and I can't do a lot with it. It's 10. That's a huge magic phase. So 6 and 4. Now I do have 2 channels in this army. One from the Necromancer, one from Mannfred, which I don't channel.
I have 1 each for my wizards and 1 for the warrior priest. I get 1 extra one from that one.
Cheeky crowns. So I'm going to struggle here though, guys, with the range more than anything else. Because most of my spells, they're sort of packing out a maximum range of 24. So I certainly don't want to purple sun through my own good stuff.
Well, I've done it before, but no, not on this turn.
So I think the first thing Mannfred's going to do is he's going to start with a boosted version of the Doom and Darkness power. So that will push that up to 48, which I'm going to need because 24, we can all see, is pretty short swift for the big man. And he's going to drop that onto that unit of Demigryphs, I think. Will I do that? Or do we want to drop it? No, he's going to drop it onto those Halberdiers. Why not? I think that's a better choice for him. So it's a 13. He's level 4, so he needs a 9. Oh, that's a good score. It's a 16, 17 in total for the big man. Rolled a 13 on the dice.
I'm certainly going to have to try and dispel this, so I'm going to use 5 dice. The average on 4 is 14. That will give me 18. So I need to make sure I stop this.
Yeah.
17 just.
I've got 17 as well, so that is a dispel. Well played, sir.
Good job I use that 5th dice.
I think that's playing the averages is exactly the way to deal with those types of things. So there isn't a huge amount more that I can do with this lore. So we're going to have a little look at what I might be able to do instead with the Lore of Vampires, which again, to be honest, is probably not going to be a great deal. So My spell's pretty short range, and I've had to be quite defensive, so it's going to be a bit of a shameful turn, I think. But I think we'll start with 2 dice. This Necromancer here, he's gonna go for an Invocation of Nehek, because that will let me grow those zombies above starting size. He certainly is on an 8.
I'm going to have to let you have that one, I'm afraid.
So, because they're zombies, and they're freshly dead, I get 2d6 plus 1 instead of the usual 1d6 plus 1. So that's going to be 8 zombies. So I'm just going to put 8 there on the dice, and I'll collect them up in a moment. We've got 5 remaining, so we could grow them again with old Mannfred, or we could try a little bit of something else. So I think we're going to go with a Van Hou's Dance Macabre from Mannfred. This is going to be all units within 12. We're going to do the boosted one. Get to make a move as if it was their movement phase. Now the Hex Wraiths are out, and these guys will be blocked by the Hex Wraiths. Okay. But the other units here are in. So I'm going to throw 3 at this one again because it needs to be a 12. So we've got a 11 there on the dice, plus the level 4 is 15.
So realistically, I need to use my scrolls to stop that. I need to roll an 11 or 12 on the 2 dice. It's not a great spell. I don't particularly want to let you have it, but I don't think I've got any choice.
Okay, so it's an 8-inch one. So these doggies are just going to... Actually, they're just going to shuffle sideways 4. These guys, however, are going to be a lot more brazen, I think. Zombies will come up a little bit. I think the Mortis engine's just going to pivot. And... Oh, he's going to have a little pivot at the end just to try and reduce that. Mannfred himself is actually going to stay put because he doesn't particularly fancy...
Don't forget those dice here, extra zombies.
Yes, they are. They're my 8 extra zombies, aren't they? So we'll pop them there. So Mannfred's actually going to be really cheeky, and he's going to turn sideways now, behind the building. The reason he's going to do that is because it will just peek out his 12-inch bubble slightly more with his movement. Going to come to there. But it's not actually going to make a lot of difference, I don't think, to be honest. So, and then I've got 2 left, which is not going to be a lot I can do with them. And at this junction, I actually think I'm probably better to not push my luck and risk a miscast. So I'm going to rotate those remaining 2, and I'm going to discard them because I don't have the Black Pyramid. If I did, I'd be going straight in the Pyramid with them. Now, from a shooting point of view, I've got some Ghostly Howl off of my Mortis engine, but that's got a very short range. It's only 8, so that's not going to be flying this turn. Pun intended. And we are going to have to say there's no combat, so I'm going to put my zombies on off camera as we move on to Empire. Turn 1.
Okay, so as with James, I've got a bit of bookkeeping at the start of my turn as well. My 2 steam tanks generate what are known as steam points. I can do between 0 and 5. 4 is the magic number. 5, you do risk blowing yourself up. 4, you
just
can't.
to dispel all those myths for years.
Yeah.
3 was in fact the magic number. 4. They're lying to you. It is 4.
4 is great for steam points. What you have to do is you roll an artillery dice, and you have to get equal to or less than your current number of wounds. These both start with 10 wounds. They're both going to generate 4 steam points each. So the first one rolls a 2, so he's okay.
Lovely.
And the second one rolls a 6, so he's okay as well. I have to allocate where I'm going to put them. I'm going to put 1 into movement for this one. I'm going to put 1 into movement for this one. So when you move a random mover, which is what these are, you roll 1 dice for each steam point that you put into movement. So I'm going to turn. I'm going to move 1d6.
Just before you do that, Tim, are you charging anything? I didn't think you would be. I know that's why you've moved on.
I am not.
But
So he's going to put 3 into his cannon, as is this one. So he moves forward d6. That's 2 inches.
Probably what you want, really. The less they move forward, the better, yeah.
And this one's going to turn as well, and he's going to move forward 6.
Now that's a big crown.
Now that's okay. I'm not too concerned about that, and I'll tell you for why shortly. But he moves there. So move on to the left flank. Now I'm incredibly concerned about these 3 units of Hex Wraiths. There are no magic weapons from here down.
You love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. You love to see it.
It's almost like he's tailored the list against me. Oh!
Oh, well, if you'd watched last month's This Month in Warhammer, you'd see Scott told me that I should take Hex Wraiths.
So,
blame the cameraman.
So, I need to start getting some magic weapons over here.
Yeah.
This is advanced planning. I can't think about that turn 2 or 3. It's going to be too late by then.
Yeah.
So this unit of knights needs to start moving this way. However, I do need to protect their flank as well. So these Demigryph Knights are going to move forward, and they're going to move forward to the building here. The Halberdiers, they are slightly going to turn like this.
Reform.
Yep. And as are the Demigryphs. Demigryphs, in fact, are going to move slightly back. In fact, no, I've completely changed my mind already. That's what I'd like to see.
Look at the fear, ladies and gentlemen.
Consistency.
He doesn't fear the dice as much as Max fears the dice, but he does fear them.
I can't get out of their charge arc. James has positioned them very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these forward. He's got 3 targets here. Now, he does have 3 units of Hex Wraiths that he can use. But if I pop them there, suddenly this steam tank can't be got to by the Hex Wraiths. They can ride through it.
Really nice play.
But they can't charge him.
Yeah, well
now,
protected.
these knights here, they are going to Musician Reform, hopefully.
Oh, of course they are. They love it.
And they're going to turn, and they're going to move this way. Now, they have the Steel Standard.
Nice.
So they ignore their barding. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. But I didn't think I needed it, so now I'm cheating.
That's fine.
They do have the Steel Standard. It's a bit.
It's in the description.
It's
Everyone will know you're a cheat if it's not in the description.
It's a bit of a 1+ choice.
I think it's really great
Knights
item.
of the Knights of the Inner Circle. So there we go. So that's all my moving. These guys not moved far as much as I would have liked, but there you go. That's just how the cookie crumbles. So now we move on to Magic Phase. This is going to be a crucial phase. I need to do well here. A 2 and a 2. Oh dear, I've just snapped my lance as well. That's never mind.
Rotten.
A 2 and a 2, not great result. In fact, it was so bad that my lance fell apart. So there you go.
It's not the end of the world.
I do have 3 chances.
My dice.
I get an extra
Oh,
one.
it's building up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try as well. Whoa. Oh, snake eyes. You hate to see it.
So formulating a plan for this Magic Phase now, I desperately need to get rid of one of these units of Hex Wraiths. Look at my dice, I've got 5 dice, which means realistically, I need to use 2 dice and maybe 2 or 3 dice on another spell. James, however, does have a Dispel scroll.
Oh, does he?
He does. So I'm going to be very surprised if I manage to get any spells off here. But let's see how it goes. So the first one I'm going to try is Shemna's Burning Gaze, and it's going to come from the Light Wizard here. Has a range of 24 inches, so that unit of Hex Wraith is very much in range. I'm going to use 2 of my 5 dice on this. I need to roll as high as possible, really.
Just a little one.
So a 10, that's a nice roll. So that's 14. Now I'm expecting the spell scroll here.
I'm going to have to. I don't want to, but I am going to have to, mate.
So that's that one out there. Now the only other one I've got really is Net of Amintok. This is hopefully going to pin them in place, but it's not going to kill any of them.
If they fail the test, they take hits.
Well, that's true, but I'm not assuming that they will. Let's have a go though. So it's cast on a 10.
Yep.
I'm going to use all 3 dice on this because James still got his 2 dice.
I'm hoping you roll a little bit rotten here.
Let's see how it goes. I've rolled not bad, 14 there.
I need a 10 then. That's quite a lot to ask on 2 dice. Could be a bad one here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great roll, but it's not enough.
So he gets that off. They are now netted. It's not bad, not amazing. So now we go to the shooting phase. The only shooting I've got are the 2 cannons from my steam tank, and as James quite rightly predicted, they are going for the Mortis engine. I'm going to start off with this one here, and he's going to fire 10 inches from the back corner there.
So can you see to place that? The reason I ask is because we did a video on this recently.
I can, yes.
You can see the spot on the ground there.
I can, I'm afraid. Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. It's just making sure.
So how far did it
spot
go?
on?
So it goes 2. So
it's going to hit the Crypt Horros.
And then it's going to bounce an additional 8. So it is going to hit them, but I'm going to need to kill those Crypt Horrors for it to go all the way through.
Yeah.
So the first one, it's going to wound him on a 2+. It does.
Now he's got a regeneration save, which is improved by being in range of the reliquary. So he's got a 4+ on this one. He loves it.
He's okay.
Eats a cannonball.
So
Jory gets his head blown off.
The second one, we knew exactly the same. So that's a misfire.
Ooh.
Now we were asking earlier on what happens when a steam tank misfires.
We were chatting about this, weren't we? And neither of us knew. Which is pretty embarrassing when you look at the amount of tournament experience on this table.
Steam cannon. It loses D3 wounds. There we go.
Ooh.
So it loses 2 wounds. Now I'm going to count down until we get to 6, and then I'm going to count up. So it's lost 2 wounds so far.
So it's got 8 remaining on that one, guys.
So that's the end of my turn. I've not done anywhere near enough. This is probably going to be a 3-turn game. Over to James.
He's selling it there. He's selling me very highly, ladies and gentlemen. So when it isn't, I'll be embarrassed. So, vampire counts turn 2 now.
It certainly is.
Cool. Right, well, top of vampire counts turn 2. I think Tim's done a lot more damage than he thinks he's done. That net of Ammontok's really scary. It's really difficult for me to commit to moving them because if they fail their strength test, they'll take 2d6 strength 4 hits, which will probably kill the entire unit of Hex Wraiths. Certainly, if it doesn't, it will severely weaken their abilities to do their job. There are going to be some charges this time. We measured some stuff off camera. I did a 9 with these Hex Wraiths to meet the cannon, to meet the steam tank that's on 8 wounds. So I don't know if I feel too brave about that at the moment, to be honest. But before I do any of that, let's do my quick bookkeeping with my reliquary. This time we add 2 to the range of this because it's turn 2. You add the turn number. So this time it's going to be an 11-inch range. Now, there's no enemies in range of 11 at the moment of the Mortis engine, but if there is in the shooting phase, then they will take d6 strength 2 hits because it's the turn number that dictates the strength of the hits. So, lots to unpack. Charges. I don't know. I really don't. Certainly not particularly fruitful. I mean, this one I can't fail to successfully charge if I wish to. Now, the positive of charging the Demigryphs, I guess, would be that they are sort of taken out of the play, but it's the steam tanks I'm much more frightened of, if I'm honest, because I can grind the Demigryphs down potentially. But I think we're going to have to put some big boy pants on today. And I think we're going to start by charging the Hex Wraiths into those Demigryphs, which are from, what company did you say they were from, Tim?
They're from Werewolf Miniatures. Unfortunately, they're no longer available, but they are very nice. I do like the Kislev look on them.
Got that real Kislevite feel again, haven't they? Which is really cool. And I think these ones here are actually going to declare a charge on the other steam tank.
Okay.
Now, they'll need a 9 to make that charge, so it's quite a bit of distance for them, but they are Swift Stride. So we're gonna cross our fingers at home, ladies and gentlemen. We're all gonna hope that it comes out good for us there. And then I think from that point, are we brave? Are we brave? Cameraman Scott's giving me nothing. No, Cameraman Scott's not convinced we're brave. But it's funny because I'm not convinced we're brave either. No, I think the Hex Wraiths there under the net. I think I'm gonna leave them still. I can't risk losing them for nothing. So that's going to be all my charges. So let's see if we get the big one that I have to roll, and the other one we know I can't foul. So I need 9 here, ladies and gentlemen. So a bit of luck. Oh, you love to see it. That's a big 11 with the Swift Striding Hex Wraiths. So that takes this unit here, and that pops them into the 8 wounded steam tank over there. Just going to pivot them, and then close the door. Like that. These ones, as we discussed, you'll see here, they are actually inside their movement value of 8. I'm just going to move Tim's in there. I think I'm just going to pop them like that for my maximisation. Okay, so now I think we're going to have to start getting a bit braver, ladies and gents. So these guys are going to move up 9, and they're going to actually move with a little wheel at the end. Let's try and get those Demigryphs away. We're going to roll for Konrad because we've got to keep doing our bookkeeping. It will be in there by turn 6, I promise. And he is frenzied this turn. Now, this is why I should have done this at the beginning. Because of where the Hex Wraiths were, he wasn't able to declare a charge, so he doesn't need to test to restrain. But that's worth remembering for everyone at home. Now, these guys can move 8 because they haven't got particularly exciting flags, and they can move 8 because they're in 12 at Mannfred at the start of the turn, which I should have also covered. Now, these guys are not. So they're just going to move up, if I can get hold of the base, 4, just to there. We're going to clear some doggos out of our way for the minute, a little sweep to there. And these guys are going to actually just bump up the bum of their Hex Wraith buddies. This can go 8. So, does it want to get a bit braver now? I think it's not going to get the Ghostly Howl, is it? So I think we'll just pop it there. And then... Whoop, 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 whoop. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. The big man himself. The big Mannfred, if you will. And then these guys are just going to have a little wheel across. They won't get very far, though. So they'll stay there. So, we'll do some vampire counts magic. I'm very blocked up here. So, it's a 2 and a 1. Now, Mannfred has a power, which is called Master of the Black Arts. Now, this allows him to reroll 1 of the dice when generating his spells. And this is one of those really difficult times where you're not sure if you really want to, because at the moment, Tim's not getting a lot of dice, and I'm slightly ahead. But I think because I've got such a low number overall, I'm better to have more dice. So I'm going to go for a reroll on the 1. For a 1. That's what you pay those points for, ladies and gentlemen.
So I have 2 Dispel dice. I've got 3 channel attempts. One of these would be nice.
Oh. So I've got 2 channel attempts. Oh, you love to see that with a crown. 4 to 2. So we can probably make something with that. And I think we're going to begin by going for a Spirit Leech. And we're going to have to boost the value on this Spirit Leech to target the steam tank that's unwounded. So Mannfred's got to have Arc of Sight, which you can see he's got here. And he's going to fire onto the steam tank that Tim's got in the middle that's unwounded. So I'm going to throw 2d6 at this one. I need to roll a 6 on the dice. Ah, you hate to see it. So he fails to cast, ladies and gentlemen. So
I mean, in a very real sense, you don't.
So he's failed. This is really, really not cool now. So we're just going to have to go for 2 dice, get wounds back on a 6 from this guy here. See if we can pump up some more zombies. We just do that on a 6.
I will try and dispel it. I have literally nothing else to do.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. Well, that's certainly piled some heat on to us there, ladies and gentlemen. Not having any magic. Now, our Mortis Engine's Scream is not going to be effective because it's only 8-inch range, as we discussed. So, it's also not going to have the 12 on the... not going to have the 12, or the 11, sorry, from the Reliquary hits because we're still not close enough. So, we're going to move on to do some combat phase. So, if you'd like to take a fear check on your Demigryph Knights, because I cause terror.
I fail. I am only 8.
Ooh. So, my horses go first. The danger of the horses, mate. These are 3s now. Still managed to miss twice. And
they are horses.
5 still injured. Toughness 4. Oh, have that right in your bare head. Woo!
They love it.
Now, I don't think the horses benefit from the spectral hunters, so they don't benefit from the no armor saves. Now, the attacks from the riders, they are no armor save attacks, and these are strength 5. So these are quite scary for the Griffs. So this is going to be 3s to hit because he failed his fear check. That's pretty big.
I'll do ya.
And these are going to be 3s to kill because they're no armor save. Oh, wow. What a roll. Making up for that magic phase.
So we're going to be rolling a double 1 for my leadership test. They are running.
So I am... how far from the board edge are we? I think I might test some restrain here.
6 inches.
So, yeah, now I am a bit of a distance from Mannfred, and these guys are not known for their leadership prowess. I will check it, but I'm going to test the restrain.
I am off the board.
Only just. Now, my test to restrain is a 6. That's close enough that I'm going to have to look and see what their actual leadership value is. Ridiculous. They are, there's probably people at home screaming, they're going to fail. They're leadership 5. So they are going to chase you, sir. Flee for your lives. And they are going to run 7 inches. So if you could measure that forward for me, that'd be great.
They are not off the board.
Ooh!
And there.
A reform there, ladies and gentlemen, would have been much, much better for us. But it's not a huge surprise when they're so far away from the general that they failed to
that's not the end of the world. Yeah, you've destroyed 242 points of Demigryphs for absolutely nothing in return there.
No loss yet, yeah. And then we get 4 can attack the steam tank. As ever, we're going to start with the horses. Now, steam tanks are unbreakable, so they don't take the fear and terror test. Don't worry, we haven't forgotten them. So these are going to be 2 hits on the steam tank. And then these are going to be 6s. Oh! Have it from the horse!
Stupid save, though.
Oh, that would have been amazing. And then 4 attacks from the riders. These are going to be 4s. So not as successful as their brethren, but and then these are 5s because the steam tank's toughness 6. 1 wound, no armor save, sir. That's pretty big because now Tim's steam points will result in a failure on a roll of a 10 and 8 or a misfire, so half the time. Yep. So stealing that extra wound is very cool. But as we said, the steam tank is unbreakable, so it's going to stand there now and be like, yeah, whatever, bruv. But I think those Empire Knights might have something to say about it in the ensuing turn.
I think they might.
So that is going to be the end of Vampire Count's turn 2.
So we're on the Empire turn 2. Now, that was a bit of a disaster on my right-hand flank there. I was hoping they'd hold those hex rays up for a little while. They didn't.
I had some spicy dice there as well.
Yeah,
I really did. That was massive.
So we've got some bookkeeping to start off with. We need to generate steam points. This steam tank is actually not going to generate any steam points at all. It can't do anything against the ethereal hex rays, so there's no point in risking it damaging itself. This one, however, is going to have 4. The classic standard.
4 is the magic number.
It is. It's going to have
the big takeaway from today.
Yeah, it's going to have 3 on movement and 1 on its steam gun.
Yeah, that's a great
we'll
choice.
get to see how that works shortly. I'm going to angle it slightly. Well, actually, I need to roll for the thing first, so that's okay.
It loves it.
I'm going to angle it slightly, and he's going to have a look at Trundley into those Crypt Horrors. Now, he's 15 inches away. He's slightly over 14. So that counts as a 15. So it's going to have to be a big roll. Let's see how it goes.
Certainly not impossible. Oh! Oh, that was a scary one. Oh.
Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm not necessarily usually upset about that.
It's certainly not the worst place in the world for him to have found himself, is it? Let's be completely honest. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Oh, dear, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry. Now, we did discuss it before. I should have moved my charges there. This unit of knights is going to charge...
No, you can't do it. You can't do it.
Those hex rates. No. Cheers, James. Thank you very much. So, now they do have the steel standard, which means they not only ignore barding, they can also reroll 1s when they are charging, overrunning, or pursuing.
So they need to roll 2 2s, 3 2s on this dice to save me.
I need a 5 or more to get in.
Yeah.
Oh,
one dice
one
did.
dice.
Do you know, I'll reroll the 1 just for the sake of it, so you make it even better.
Yay!
Oh, you love to see it.
That's good. That's bringing one of the only 2 magic weapons in my army into base contact with the enemy. Now, because of where that building is, I can only get 2 guys in. Doesn't really matter, because I've only got 1 guy with a magic weapon anyway, so I'm not too concerned. These demis are also going to charge those as well. They can't fail, they're too close.
Papas!
Ladies and gentlemen at home, do things in order. This is very naughty. James very kindly let me do these things out of order.
It's not much of a game, though, I think. If you, I think it's worth saying, actually, even at a competitive level, if you want to win because your opponent forgot to, like, declare his charges at the start of the turn or whatever, I mean, it's completely within the rules of the game. I always think that I come away from that game thinking I only got that result because, like, my opponent picked up the dice in the wrong order. Like,
that's certainly
I think that you should try to be a courteous gamer and play to win, not game them off like that. I think that's a bit rubbish, isn't it? So, I
mean, we could have gone back. I could have rolled for that steam tank again. Okay, so
that steam tank was scary, mate. He's right up there.
Yeah, that's all my moving. These guys shuffled a little bit as James is talking now. I hope you wouldn't notice. But now we're going to go to the magic phase. So it's 2d6 for the winds of magic.
Oh, I'm very scary.
And that is a 6 and a 1. Not fantastic. What I'm looking for with the winds of magic phase, really, are 2 numbers on the dice that are as close as possible to each other. I take a double 3 over a 6 and a 1 any time. But I do have 3 channels. I was going to say challenges there. Channels. Let's see how that goes.
Oh, no, but has Mannfred and the boys played the Sky Bill? Other television subscription services are available. He has not. What a shame. He does not get any channels. So
I'm looking at my spells here. We're obviously getting a lot more into it, but I'm still concerned about these hex rates. We saw last turn the effects of netting one of the hex rate units.
Oh, and
I'm going to try and net the same one again. Now, I'm going to use 4 dice on this one. It's a very important spell. And let's see if I can get it off. I definitely can on a 10, 16 plus my level. So that's 20 that's cast on.
So I'm checking the arc of sight on my guys here. So to see if they can see that steam tank.
Can I have a look? I shall lay it flat.
You certainly can.
I think they can.
I think they can as well.
Let's just double check. So we're not even next to the base. I'm already in there.
Yeah, so it's worth that. That's a consideration in terms of whether I might want to dispel this or not. And it's always worth just having your brain on for those sort of things. And Tim does still have 3 dice, and he's still got Shem's Burning Gaze, which is an awesome spell for dealing with them as well. However, So there's some big calls here. That's a really high score to start with. It's 20. That's a great score, and I'm unlikely to throw less than 5 dice to get to 20. And as a result, I'll only have 1, which is pretty unimpressive for attempting to save. So I'm going to see if he rolls a bit rubbish on his gems, and I'm going to throw 6, because there's not really a lot of point in saving 1 dice, if I'm honest. And it's far better to guarantee that I dispel it, which I certainly have guaranteed dispelling that spell.
Absolutely. My light wizard, he's going to reach deep into his pocket, and he's going to pull forth his Power Stone. Ah,
nice. Great choice. So, underused item.
He is going to roll 3 dice on Shem's Burning Gaze.
That needs a 5, so yeah, it's very
good.
I'm tempted. He has to roll 3 though if he wants to use the Power Stone, doesn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. Now I'm tempted to go for the boosted one. Maybe roll an extra couple of dice. The reason I'm tempted to do that is because he's got to roll it anyway. Then I may have to do that. I am very tempted. You've got no Dispel dice left.
I don't.
He's got no scroll.
I used my scroll last turn.
2d6 strength 6 hits on the Crypt Horrors. They are flaming.
They are, which is huge because of the lack of my regen.
I could also do it on the that thing.
The Mortis Engine.
Mortis Engine, yeah.
Which, I don't know if you know, is a great model. It's really lovely.
I was about to say, I can't remember what it's called, but
it just goes together so well and it paints lovely.
What is the toughness of the Mortis Engine?
So the toughness of the Mortis Engine, sir, is 5, and it has 5 wounds. So I'll be honest, I'm a big fan when I fight against these of shemting them on the boosted value.
Yes.
My Tomb Kings love a bit of that, and so do my my High Elves upon occasion.
Now I am deviating from the plan here. Ladies and gentlemen, don't do this at home. I'm going to use all 5 of my dice. I'm going to large Shem's Burning Gaze. I say 5, sorry. I've got 3 dice, plus 2 from the Power Stone, if you're wondering where they came from. I'm going to use the big Shems on the Mortis Engine. So this would be D6 strength 6, which becomes 2d6 because they are undead. I, however, need to roll a massive 15 to get it off. Oh, see, now I'm tempted to save a dice. This is why you shouldn't change your mind halfway through Magic Pens. I'm going to save a dice. It's not going to cast now.
What a mistake to make, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to fail it.
Let's see.
Need an 11 on the dice, sir. Oh, easy. You love to see it.
So I've got the 2d6 off. Now, this is the important one. This needs to be a high roll. Let's see how
So this would normally be d6, it's worth pointing out, but it goes to 2 because of the law of
So against anyone else, it would be 6.
What?
Against this one, it's 9.
Nice.
That's a good roll. I'm very, very pleased.
That should be enough.
So it's strength 6. It's toughness 5. So I'm wounding it on a 3+. Does it have a ward save?
No, it has regeneration save.
Okay, so 3. I need 5 of these.
Oh, it's got a 5+ armor save though. Oh, you want to wear out for that? Oh wow, I think is that 7.
That's
very
dead.
It's very dead, ladies and gentlemen. And as a result, it's gonna go kablam, as I think the technical term for it is. So I'm gonna read this out so that we don't get it wrong, because it's quite a passage of rules here, but it's just the bottom section we're gonna cover. So it says, finally, apologies. It says, when the Mortis Engine suffers its last wound, every unit within 12 plus the turn number suffers 2d6 hits equal to the turn number. So the turn number is 2. Is it 2?
Yep.
Yeah, wow, it's 2. So this is going to be, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be 2d6 plus 2. Now, I don't know if we roll it for each unit here. Let's read this again. When the Mortis Engine suffers its last unsaved wound, every unit within 12 plus the turn number in inches, so 14 inches in this case, friend or foe must take 2d6 hits with a strength of 2, because we're on turn 2. So I think we roll for each of these individually.
I would say so, yes.
So let's look at where 14 inches brings us.
Very, very much looking forward to a dead Mannfred.
My whole army.
Oh yeah.
Just out on the wraiths though there, but it will hit the front race, I think. Yeah. Check it. Honestly, check it.
No, they are.
Now, it's worth pointing out, I don't think these are magical hits, so they won't affect the wraiths.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to check. When the Mortis Engine suffers last 12 inches, these are distributed as per shooting. So no, they're not magical hits though, which feels weird. But they're not. So in your face with the can of mace. We'll start with the Ghouls. The Ghouls are going to take 9 hits. Plus 2. No, it's not plus 2, is it? It's strength 2.
Yes.
Going to get into this mess now. Why'd you have to blow things up, you meaning? So these are going to be on 6s because the toughness 4. So 2. Boop, boop. And we'll move on to the skeletons with Konrad. They're going to take 10 hits. So we're going to throw one more dice in a second. These will be 5s just going to roll that one again. So they're going to take 3 wounds, and they're going to take their 5+ armor saves, and they're going to take 3 dead skeletons. Blub, blub, blub. The zombies are going to take 7. I'm rolling a lot of 6s on these dice.
I'm liking this.
And these are going to be on 5s as well, and that's just going to be 2 dead zombies. So take you 2 out for the minute, and I'll have to mess about with the filled up sticks in a moment. Okay, so I'm going to move to Mannfred.
Double 6.
The big one.
Oh.
4. And these are 6s.
4 6s now.
4 6s would be very bad for him. He gets 1.
No.
Now he's got a 4+ armor save because he's got the armor of Tempelhof, which is heavy armor, and he's mounted on a steed. And he fails it. So he's just down to 4 wounds remaining.
Damn it.
I like how you're whispering. The mic probably won't pick it up.
No.
Avit was the... oh, we've made a southerner of you. So 2d6 onto the Crypt Horros is going to be 9. So I've rolled a lot of 9s for these guys, I've got to be honest. And these are going to be 6s as well. Oh, 3. Could be a dead Crypt Horror, mate. 5+ regen now, because I've lost the Mortis Engine. I passed 1. So he's down to 1 wound. And then the dogs are going to suffer 9.
Now this may save them from the steam gun, to be fair. The steam gun may be turning its turret.
This is going to be 2 dead dogs.
2 dead.
So it'll be 1 from each end of the regiment, if you mind pulling that off. And then we're going to finish up, because we can't hurt the Hex Wraiths, to be established, by hitting the steam tank itself. We're going to hit 5 times. So the tough stuff's got away a bit comfortably today, because Mannfred didn't get hit too much. And that's 4 ones.
That's a lot of... So that wasn't for Mannfred's armor saves.
Kaboom, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I think we can all agree that that was very unkind, and it was Tim being a bit of a bully. So, but I think after all that excitement, I can close the Mortis Engine page and say, with some confidence, that you've got 1 magic dice left, I believe.
I do, yes. Now, I've got 2 choices with this one, really. Realistically, I've got Speed of Light, that's cast on 8+. However, I kept this for one thing and one thing alone. That is Soulfire from the Warrior Priest. So that is one of his prayers. It is a bound level 3. It means that any enemy in base contact takes a single strength 4 flaming magical hit.
Yeah, they do.
So it's only going to get 1, but given that I've only got 4 attacks from magical weapons in that unit, that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. I'm currently stalling for time while I find it in the book. Here we are. Now,
like a pro, if you'd not said anything, people wouldn't have realised.
Against Undead, it's actually an additional 1 strength, so it's actually going to be strength 5.
Nice.
I do need a 3+ to cast it, though, which I get. So it's a strength 5 hit on the Hex Wraith, and he is toasty.
He is deaded, mate. So I'm going to pop this one out for now.
That is done at the...
It's done in the magic phase.
Yes. Yes.
Excellent.
Sorry, yeah, right. Okay.
Steam gun.
So, shooting the steam gun. Now, the steam gun has cranked the turret round, and he's going to fire over here. Now, what we found out yesterday is he also has a repeater pistol, which he's going to fire in a minute. But he can have it this way here. Actually, rotate the turret around a little bit more, really. And I think that's 6, possibly 5.
Yeah, we'll say 6.
6, okay. Let's go with that. Now, it is only strength 2, because I only put 1
You've only got to do 1 wound if I fail regen.
Well, that's true.
So
let's see. I need 6 to wound. On average, I should get 1 here. Let's see how it goes. I do indeed get 1. In fact, I get very close to the Yahtzee.
5+. Yeah. Oh,
there you go. So that's a dead ogre. That's definitely worth doing. I also missed Mannfred with that one. Now, I could have tried to get him, but I avoided him. No, I wouldn't. So it was worth doing. That's good. So we'll go to combat. Let's start with this one here.
Yep.
We can roll it if you want. In fact, let's just do that. That's what we're here
you're
for.
initiative 4, so
I am
go first. And we both cause fear because of the Demigryphs.
Now, my Demi-Bears, they were appalling yesterday. Let's see if they can redeem themselves today. They are weapon skill 4, so they're hitting on 3. No, still appalling, but it should be enough. They are strength 5 armor piercing, so they are killing those doggos on 2s. Oh no, to the moon. Only 4.
1 still alive, but your initiative 3 on the riders. So I will make my dogs attack valiantly. He misses.
I do get 2 attacks from the riders, so both of those hits. Now they are strength 6 on the chart if they have lancers, and that is 1 shish kebab doggo.
It certainly is.
Now they can either overrun or reform. They are going to reform, and they are going to go to face those ghouls and go grr a lot. So we're over here now. So the Elector Count, he is, the Templar Grandmaster, the Templar. He is a mighty weapon skill 6. He is also initiative 6. So he is attacking with his 4 attacks with his Rune Fang. He is hitting on 3s.
He's immune to psychology, isn't he? Yeah.
So no fear test. And he is hitting on 3s. Now he has a Rune Fang. They automatically wound with no armor saves. That is 3 dead Hex Wraiths.
I've 1 Hex Wraith left.
Who now gets to attack. He can either attack sideways. He can either attack the Templar Grandmaster. He should have been moved over to here. I'm not going to do it because the Hex Wraith is quite fragile. I've already snapped 1 lance. I don't want to break any Jones's fingers.
Okay, so
he either has to attack the Templar Grandmaster or the Warrior Priest.
So I think in this instance, it's unlikely I'm going to kill either. So, but I think I have statistically a chance, a very slim chance of killing the Warrior Priest. Yep. I have no chance of killing the Templar Grandmaster because he has more wounds than I have attacks. So I'm going to kick him in the head with the horse, the Warrior Priest.
He is -1 to hit due to his Cloak of Auric.
5s. Nope. And then I'm going to hit him with the axe as well, which is both a miss. And unfortunately, because of the way combat resolution works for vampire counts, Tim's charged me in the flank. He's got 3 wounds, and then he's got his ranks and all that. I've done nothing back, and for every point I lose combat by, I lose an additional model. 3 of those are already gone. So they are dead, and you get to overrun.
The Knights will be reforming rather than overrunning. So they will reform to face this way. Now, unfortunately for the Knights, there is a big unit of skeletons right in front of them, which is going to be concerning, especially as Konrad's in there. But let's see how it goes. I'm going to move the Templar Grandmaster back there. I shouldn't do really. I should put him there. In fact, I am going to put him there. This will become apparent why shortly. So there's no more combats left to go. Overall, that turn, pretty good for the Empire, I think. Maybe my prediction of a 3-turn game. Maybe that was a little off, although...
I think you've oversold that turn
I still think it's not looking too good. However, we've got rid of one unit of Hex Wraiths, rather. The other one's out of position. Let's see how Vampire turn 3 goes.
Okay, guys. Vampire counts turn 3. The loss of my Mortis engine. Beautiful model, by the way. Goes together lovely. Really nice to paint. That's gone. That's going to be a pain because it just takes a little bit of the grime factor out of my list. So first things first, we're going to get into our heads now. We've got to roll to see what Konrad's going to be. And he's going to be frenzied. Probably a good time to pick a frenzy on him.
Yeah.
We are going to do some charges this turn, and in fact, it's going to be a full-scale charge onslaught, I think. So the Hex Wraiths here, which we specifically saved from the Net of Amantok, are going to charge the steam tank that their buddies were fighting a minute ago. Now they're going to do that so that the Crypt Horros behind them can charge the steam tank that tried to charge them in what we're going to call counter-charging because you were picking on me. And then Konrad doesn't want to test to restrain. He's going to go for the Knights full pelt with his skeleton buddies. It's probably going to be a pretty bad day at the office for him.
Well, this is why I moved the Templar Grandmaster over to the flank, because we actually had to move him a little bit off camera.
Yeah, we did,
an inch here. Now, the Templar Grandmaster is now protected from Konrad. He will absolutely tear him apart in close combat. So I wanted to make sure he was safe. Remember, he's got that crucial magic weapon.
Yeah.
I needed to keep him safe. He's also my general. He is going to be able to make way, though, and he is still going to be able to attack. So it's going to be an interesting combat, this one, I think. Don't forget, they also have the Soul Fire as well.
Yes. So does that give them... What does that give the unit?
It now gives them flaming and magical attacks.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, sorry, the Soul Fire. Sorry, no, it only gives them flaming attacks.
So they get flaming attacks now. Okay, fantastic. So, yeah, so we're going to charge Konrad and his boys into the Knights. I haven't checked the distance on that one. And then over here, we're going to do something a little bit cheeky, which is we're going to charge the Wraith, who is going to need to roll a 4, because he's movement 6, into the unit of Griffs on his own. He's going to leave his Ghoul buddies behind, because the Ghoul buddies are just dead combat resolution to us. They're not going to get through that 1-up armor save. But the Wraith is obviously ethereal, and I'm a big fan of packing a Wraith into a unit to do these types of things with them. I'm a big fan. So let's move all my chargers into their eclectic ways. Did you check the range on Konrad for me?
I did. He needs to roll a 6 to get
so they're 10.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
9 in the tiny bits.
9 and some, yeah. Okay, so we need a 6 on the Wraith, a 6 on Konrad, and the others can't foul their charges. So what we'll do is we'll roll for Konrad, needing a 6. Oh! Shocker! And the Wraith, this one's probably more important, actually. Oh, he loves it.
He is super keen.
Put him in there. Treat ourselves. Konrad and the boys have really let me down there quite terribly, haven't they? Now, the reason we haven't rolled for the Hex Wraiths is because they are, as you can see, the worst they can roll is a 10 for their charge. So they're well inside their remit. And they're going to go to there. Boopy boop. And then these guys are going to flank because of the majority of their arc into them. Okay. Whew. Konrad's foul charge is pretty rubbish for us.
Sorry, did they bump forward an inch?
Yeah.
You did.
Bump them up. These guys are going to bump up 4. They don't really want to go any further than that. Maybe a little bit. Their job's really just to block you off.
Yep.
They can go 8 because they're by Mannfred. Right, so Mannfred's going to have to start earning his keep, I think. Oof. So. Oh, all the big decisions coming now, ladies and gentlemen. So Mannfred's going to have to test to March, I think. This is in 8, is it, for testing to March?
Yep.
Yeah. So Mannfred is going to test to March. He's going to pass. And the dogs will do them as well whilst we're at it. They're going to pass as well because of Mannfred.
Oh, I see him teeing up purple sun.
I am tempted to tee it up. It's a very scary day at the office for me, so I would like to...
That reminds me, actually, James, how's your leg? I see you need the crutch to rest on.
I do need the crutch, mate. Let's not even pretend. Now, Mannfred can make units of dogs bigger than starting size. We won't be doing that today. We will, because you've killed a unit. I've got some extra dogs. I can make them bigger.
You got to cast a spell first, bro.
Yeah, I do have to cast a spell. That's a very good point. So I think we will, however, do some jam with these Hex Wraiths at the moment. Slide your dice out. So, they're going to pivot. And they are going to boop themselves onto the corner here and boop themselves off. And whilst they do that, they're going to reform themselves inside the unit so they can strike 5 strikes onto the knights. And these are strength 5, and they are no armor saves, so these are very scary for knights. They're tough as 3, aren't they, knights?
Yep.
5 dead.
And that is going to be a panic test for those.
Immune psychology.
Yes.
Temper Grandmaster, baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
So very effective use of the Hex Wraith there. This unit has definitely been your MVP so far.
They're doing well. So, and then we're just going to move our little zombies. Brains. And you'll see I've got a little issue with the ranking there, which I will sort out in a moment, I promise. So, magic spell time, mate. Need a good phase, finally. Oh, nice. So, I'll do my 2 channels quickly. I don't get any, though.
I have 3. No.
So, 9 to 5, Tim. What a way to make a living.
Well.
Other country stars are available. So, I think we're going to look at some pick-on moves now, more than we are sort of anything else. So, I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to throw 3 dice. And we're going to cast 3. Yeah, well, it's brave 3. 4. We're going to throw 4 dice. We're going to cast the Fate of Bunya on your Templar Grandmaster. That's why we threw 4 dice. 10, 11, 15. And he's cast.
I'm going to use 4 dice to dispel this. Just 16.
Oh. Scary one, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go next with a little Caress of Lanith on him. This time we need to roll a not 2 1s. That'll do.
I can't stop it. I've only got 1 dice left, so I'm going to have to let you have that one, I'm afraid.
So this is 2d6 minus his strength value. No, nothing.
That'll be 0.
It's great, mate. It's not going so well over here again for the Mannfred and the boys, is it?
For the Mannfred man.
For the Mannfred massive, yeah. So We're going to go 2 dice, and we're going to go for a Van Hals, Dance Macabre, on the unit of Hex Wraiths that burnt the Knights.
Okay.
Okay? Yes, we are.
There's nothing I can do to stop that.
So this will allow me to move them. It will also allow me to restore Mannfred's missing wound on them.
So again, I assume?
Yeah. And in a very...
Just leave them there.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to put them back, though, because at the moment, this steam tank is blocking them making a charge on me.
Okay.
So I don't know if I want to just... So I've got 8, so I could sort of flip a wiggle on them, pour them through, but then, yeah. No, I'm just going to burn them and pop them back, I think, to there. So it's going to be 5 hits again on the unit of Knights. This is a really fantastic use of the spells with Hex Wraiths. It's really horrible. And it's going to be 4 more dead Knights. And then I've just got 1. So I'm going to go brave. I'm going to go for a Spirit Leech this time.
That's my Dispel dice.
Oh, so we need
5 or 6.
5 plus to get the Spirit Leech on his general, ladies and gentlemen. Oh!
Very good.
So he does do it. So this one is just 1 dice plus our leaderships. I'm leadership 10, you're leadership 9.
So you get +1 to your dice, effectively.
5.
Oh dear.
Effectively.
We're okay.
We're equal up. So yeah, I mean, he's had a really great turn against my death spells, I'd say.
You've killed 9 Knights, so excuse me while I don't cry.
Yes. Yeah, that's still great for me, isn't it?
That's 207 points you've killed there.
Yeah, the Wraiths are something special against armoured targets, particularly when they're toughness 3, like Bretonnians and Empire.
Yeah.
They're
So
all
certainly, I think if you were to pick a unit to take against a heavily armoured Empire army that you knew was coming, definitely Hex Wraiths would be that number 1.
Imagine if you didn't just pick the best army in the book.
Yeah.
So, we're going to move on to some shooting. And I'll do my ghostly howl from my Mortis engine. Oh, no, I won't, because you blew it up.
Yay!
So, we'll just move on to the combat phase. So, we'll start over here with Wraithy McWraith, as I'm now calling him.
Okie dokie.
Now, he's going to make you take a fear check.
He certainly is.
At least you're 9, though.
I'm okay.
So, he's got 2 methods of attacking. He can throw 1 dice, which if it hits, auto wounds with no armor save. So, it's like a Rune Fang. It's called a Chill Grasp attack. Or he can alternatively choose to throw 3 dice with a great weapon, which is strength 5. Now, with your high armor save, I think, and as I've charged this turn, I think I'm going to just throw for the Chill Grasp.
I think that's probably a
So,
wise
on a
choice.
4+, you'll take a wound with no armor save. No, it's a 1. So, I charged you. You lose by 1, sir.
I do have a musician, so it's a draw. Oh, no, I still lose by 1, don't I? Yes, of course. I am steadfast, however.
You are
Let's
leadership
see
9.
how that goes. Oh, doesn't matter when that though.
Oh, they're running. I'm going to pursue.
Let's see how far they go. They go 8.
8. Hold tight, ladies and gentlemen. Oh! What a turn from the Wraith. That's absolutely outrageous. That is outrageous. Didn't do the dance, Tim.
I did not.
I did not do the dance, I promise. Well, that was something spectacular. That's shocking dice on the leadership of them again, isn't it? So, on to the combat with the Crypt Horros here and the Steam Tank.
So the Steam Tank commander, he gets 1 attack. He misses.
Oh, that's such a shame. It would just been good to see him just punch one in the head, wouldn't it? So I've got quite a lot of attacks, but I can't imagine they're going to do a great deal to you.
Well, we'll see.
3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 in total. I need to get bigger hands for a unit like this. So these guys are hitting you on 4s, and on 6s they're poisoned. They're 3 attack each because they are Crypt Horros. So not too sad on the poison.
Not bad, yeah. Good roll.
But
quite a few misses though. So
heavy wedge of misses, I think
is out. Yeah.
is fair to say there. And then these are strength 4. Your toughness is
6.
So
Indeed.
6s. Just 1 more, sir.
5.
This is where I was hoping to use some dice I got back to give them rerolls.
1 more.
Oh! That's 1 more than I thought we were going to do there, ladies and gentlemen. So, obviously, this heroic effort of charging you in the flank with a rank and a wound. What a score. But they're unbreakable. So that's
it's just as well, because otherwise they would have run away and been run down. So
probably.
Yeah.
Probably. They're not Wraithy McWraith over there, mate. So,
that's true.
Don't oversell them. So we're going to do the last one, which is the Hex Wraith. So we'll start by kicking your Steam Tank with our hoofs of our horses. So 2 hits, and then these will be 6s. Well, it's a 1-up armor save, sir.
Oh, sorry, this is my horses. Isn't it? Yep, he's okay.
And then I've got, in fact, I did 1 too many attacks there. So, because I did 5.
It doesn't matter.
But it doesn't matter on the horses, nothing got through. So the riders is going to be 1, 2 hits, and then these will be 5s. No wounds though. So we're going to stay where we are. Okay, well, after what was a much more exciting turn than I thought it was going to be.
Not for me.
We're going to say goodbye to Vampire Counts turn 3 and hello to Empire turn 3.
So we're now into Empire turn 3 after an absolutely disastrous turn for me in Vampire turn 3. Looking at the table now, it very much is a case of maximising the victory points I get from this game. The loss of the 2 units of Demigryphs was quite a big issue for me. So to that end, let's get some charges going in. But before I do that, I need to do my bookkeeping with the steam tanks. I didn't forget, honest. And I'm going to do 5 steam points from this steam tank. And now I know I said that 4 is a magic number, never do 5. But we are in death or glory mode here. So I'm going to do 5 for this one. It's still got a 2 in 3 chance of passing. Let's see whether it does. This one here, not going to bother. So this one, let's see how many... well, let's see if it survives. It does not, of course. Now this is D3 plus its steam points. Let's see what the result is. It's going to be a 5. That is going to give me an 8, which is the destruction of the steam tank.
No way.
So... kaboom! All units within 6 inches of the steam tank, friend or foe, suffer 2d6 strength 4 hits distributed as shooting. After doing that, I remove the steam tank as a casualty. So those zombies are just in.
Yep.
Those dogs are just
very
in.
dead. Is Mannfred
that's going to be... No,
is it 6 or 12?
6.
Sorry, I thought you said 12.
Sorry, it was 2d6 strength 4, wasn't it? So let's see on the dogs. The doggos take a mighty 7.
I think that's probably going to be 7 too many.
I would hope so. 3 to kill. They are,
they are very dead.
Deadied. On the zombies, that is... sorry, the Zogans, I should say, shouldn't I? That is 6. So, it's wounding those on 5s. And that is 3 wounds. That's not terrible.
No, not at all. 5 plus regens. Another spectacular failure of regens.
And on the zombies, it does 9. That's not bad at all. So that's 9 dice there. And that's going to be 8 dead.
Literally just spent time finding the correct size.
It is worth pointing out, though, that was a 250 point steam tank removed. That is why you don't use 5 steam points. Had I only used 4, it would have lost D6 steam points and been able to carry on fighting. But yeah, as it is, I just thought I'd try it for a bit of fun. So, charge-wise, the infantry are going to charge the Hex Wraiths here. There is a magic weapon in the unit, and I do have ranks and a standard. That's hopefully going to make me win. So I'm going to have to do that, and then I'm going to maximise to shut the door there, which is a bit of a problem because it means that the Gold Wizard is in contact with 2 Hex Wraiths. Now this is going to be a little bit of an odd one. The Templar Grandmaster is going to charge out of the unit into the zombies there. He is going to go a mighty 7 inches plus his movement, so he's going to go 14, which is just enough.
No, he's movement 8, isn't he? So 15.
He's got Barding. Now he's charging out of the unit that has a steel standard.
So
I don't know if he's still.
I think he's still got it whilst he declares the charge.
Either way, he's in. So so he's going to charge out of the unit here, and he's going to contact the zombies there. So these guys are now going to musician reform. Yes, they are. And they are going to move like so. Take them off the movement tray, really. The reason being, I want to try and protect them from those ghouls. So they're going to move to there.
Plus, obviously, they can charge the Hex Wraiths from there with the spells from the Warrior Priest and the static combat resolution. Really good.
Like so. There we go there. Lance is going to get in the way of the flag. So, that is it for movement. Not a huge amount for the Empire there. Let's go on to magic. Now, I need this to be a very good phase. I need all of my magic phases to be good phases. That's not a bad roll. No. So, 7 there.
I've still got 2 somehow, so I'm going to try it. I don't get any.
No
channels for
3. And I get 2 channels. Very nice. Now, unfortunately...
Double crowns me, 9 to 4.
They certainly do. So, let's see what we've got. Now, because my wizards are in combat, can't use magic missiles, unfortunately. So, that's Shem's Burning Gaze out the window. Can use hexes, augments, and direct damages though, and that is what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Final Transmutation. I'm going to cast it on Konrad's unit. I'm going to go all 6 dice on this one. He's only level 2, and he needs a 15 to cast. Let me just check. I'm in range actually. Ooh, just.
Look at him there. Look, rubber tape measures.
Well, it would have been an 18 to go on the large one, which is probably worth doing, to be honest. But
what's the range on it? It's 18, isn't it?
18 or 36.
It looked like 18. It looked like it was in 18 to me.
Lonely just though. So I'm going to cast it on a 15 plus. Let's see how we go. So I definitely.
Oh, you know what? You will, mate.
So that's good. Now we'll do the misfire after we do the
spell effect
damage.
first.
So how many skeletons are in that unit?
There are 32 now.
Okay.
Plus Konrad. Now do get a lookout, sir, on Konrad because we use the Triple Crown pack for that. So, and he makes it. So Konrad will live, but you will hit 33 because of Konrad of his skeleton mates.
So I'm going to do 2 lots of 16, and then I'm going to do an additional one for the champion.
What's really scary about this is what we talked about earlier, is those stupidity tests that come next.
So it's going to be 5 to kill. So we've got not a terrible roll, not great, but not bad. I'll take it. We've got 8 so far.
That's half of 16. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad. Second load. So we're now up to 11, 12 altogether, which is about average.
Yeah.
And the champion, because Konrad took the lookout, sir, the champion gets hit instead. This is a 5 for the champion to be dead. No, he's okay. So 12 dead skeletons, but more importantly, it's the stupidity.
So it's 12, yeah. That little filler is exactly 12. So I'm going to pop these skeletons in what was once a bus is now really a hatchback, but that's fine. And the skeleton hatchback with Konrad Von Carstein.
He did, however, miscast. A large blast wouldn't necessarily be terrible here, I'm not going to lie.
Well, the hits are magical.
It's a small template on his head that are magical hits.
Yes, they are,
so,
yeah.
Thank you very much. He's going to hit 3 Hex Wraiths, and he's going to hit himself, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of his own men. Now, one of those is the Battle Standard Bearer, so he's going to try and look out, sir, and he is going to succeed. So, James, would you like to roll for 5 of my men? 2s to kill them. It's strength 6 hit.
I think it might be a 10, actually, this one, mate.
Okay.
It is certainly high. 5 of them will die.
Certainly enough skill for 5, that's for sure. Now, they are in combat, so they're immune to psychology, so no panic tests needed. And there's 3 Hex Wraiths under the template as well.
There certainly is.
So 2 of those die. And I lose D6 Paradise. I had 3 left, and I lose them all. Thank you, James.
Overall, not a bad outcome.
It could have been a lot worse.
So yeah, you do take them off of each end of the unit as well, because obviously you do retract to the centre if you can, just in case people at home are wondering why you didn't take them straight under the template.
So shooting, well, there isn't any, so we're straight into close combat. Let's start here. So I need to do a fear test.
You certainly do, sir. I'm very scary.
I'm okay, though. My Battle Standard Bearer is leadership 8, so he is also going to make way to the front rank as well. Now, he has the Sword of Anti-Heroes. I forgot to mention this in the lead-up.
Does he? I thought he had the Armour of Meteoric Iron.
No, sorry, yes, you're right. Oh, yes, no, you are.
Does he want to make way?
He does not want to make way. This is me getting confused with the list we had yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So, yes, you're right, he does have the Armour.
Because I distinctly recall at the end of that game, you said to me, "Do you know you would have done much better with the Armour of Meteoric Iron?" Yeah. I'm probably going to take that.
So, that's there's no strikes from me. James gets to attack.
So I've got 3 horses, one of which I think can kick the Gold Wizard in the head.
Yes.
Just the one, is it? Or can 2?
It'll only be 1 now. It was 2, but he got decimated.
Cool. So the horse is going to kick the Gold Wizard. He needs a 4. He hits him, and he will need a 4 to wound him.
He will. He's only +3.
Yaha!
Yep. No, that's not good.
And then 2 on the Halberdiers from the other horses. 2 hits. Wow, horses really bringing home the bacon here. 1 wound. He kicks out
They do have a 6-up save, which they fail.
Okay, and then I'm going to put 1 attack on the Metal Wizard, see if I can kill him.
Yeah,
and then the other 2 on the unit. So the Hex Wraith needs a 4. He misses. And then on the unit, 2 hits. And these are 2s to kill because the strength 5. 1 wound.
So there's no attacks from me because, unfortunately, he's ethereal. But we do the combat raise. Now, the Hex Wraith did 3 wounds on me. I did none on the Hex Wraith. However, I did charge. I have 1, 2, 3 ranks. I have a unit banner. And I also have my battle standard bearer. So I win that combat by 3. So take 3 away, take 3 away. I've still got 3.
That miscast saved your bacon, sir, didn't it?
Yes, I thought I had the... not having a sword, I should have checked my list.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The miscast saving Mr. Richardson's blushes there.
Oh, you know what, though?
What?
I didn't roll to wound the wizard from the miscast. Now you mention it.
Oh, that's a fair point. I might actually kill him.
So let me see. On a 2+, he did.
You'd love to see it, ladies and gentlemen.
So that's our thing. We forgot to do it at the time, but we can bring it back without causing too much problem there.
Nah.
The attacks didn't make any difference. I didn't kill any more Halberdiers, so it's not been too bad. We'll do the combat here next. I can't do anything.
But 4 GGs can. Go, horses, go! Run like the wind, bullseye.
Blimey, 4 hits.
I know, it's a waste though. It's still the horses. 6s. Nothing.
Oh.
And then the wraiths themselves. 2 hits.
No, I'll do you.
Normal services resuming and 5s. 1 wound. So
no
one
armor
wound
save.
with no armor save, that one.
Down. He's now down to 6. So I'm going to start counting down now.
Okay, lovely.
He's unbreakable. He doesn't really.
He doesn't care.
This unit here, the Templar Grandmaster, is not going to issue a challenge. Does the Necromancer wish to?
Yes, because that's what brave little craven necromancers do. That's the oxymoron of the day. Brave and craven. He's going to go for it.
Well, he may as well. He's saving his zombies from being cut up there, so he may as well. So 4 attacks. I'm hitting on 3. I'm immune psychology, so no fear test.
No fear test.
So 3s. That is 3 wounds.
So you get an extra one for the overkill as well. So you charged me.
Yep.
I can't attack him because you're in a challenge, which is worth pointing out. And you did 3 wounds. So you get 4 in total. I've got, my ranks are a little jiggly, but I do have 2 ranks still and a banner. So I'm going to lose by 1. But a bit scarier if Mannfred miscasts now.
So that's the end of Empire Turn 3. I still have my Dispel scroll, which I didn't use, actually. Don't anymore, because he's dead. But there we go. It's not an amazing turn. I think I probably did one of really the best with it I could. But we're about to move on to Vampire Turn 4.
Oh, it was pretty decent, man. Okay, so top of Amp's turn 4. We're just going to do a couple of bits of bookkeeping from the end of the last turn. See where the steam tank blew itself up. In the combat phase, because this unit was freed, it would be allowed to make a combat reform. It's going to turn about its centaur. And just like that, remove that artillery dice now. And I think that in the process of that, it's going to just hop there, but it will obviously have to move its centre slightly to remain where it was.
Yeah.
And so that will be where we begin Vampire Count's turn 4. So the first thing we've got to do is check Conrad's insanity or stupidity. And he is stupid.
Double stupid.
And I think the worst part of that is that he's out of range of Mannfred. Excuse me, a nice hiccup there. He's out of range of Mannfred. So he's only leadership 7. Whoa.
Just passes.
Jammy. Jammy roll. Now, so they've taken the stupidity test, that unit. So they won't take another one. Now, these guys will have to take a stupidity test.
This is from the final transmutation.
From the final transmutation here. So it's, just to recapture that, it's...
all enemy units within 12 of the unit affected need to take a stupidity test at the start of their next turn.
Yep. So these guys will take one. Now, they are in range of Mannfred. And they just passed thanks to that. Now, these guys will as well, which is a bit weird because they can't see them. But I don't think it is a, it is a vision thing.
Yep.
Yeah, they just sort of smell the gold. So, and they are leadership 5. So they're going to foul, ladies and gentlemen. And they amble forwards D6 inches, but I think it might be actually in this case they have to turn and go towards.
No, it's like regular stupidity. They just go forward.
So they're going to amble forward. So that's part of the compulsory moves phase. So we've rolled all those out just to see the effects because it's important. So now we know what we can declare charges with or what we can't declare charges with. So we're going to declare charge with these guys. And we're going to declare a charge with Conrad's unit. So these guys are going to charge into the Templar Grandmaster here. Conrad's unit are going to attempt for a second time to charge the Knights. And these guys are then going to amble forward D6. So these guys here They try to fail.
Oh, yeah, good attempt.
They will
I'm
make it on
fairly
a
sure
9.
they're in their basic movement already.
Yeah. And then Conrad's unit
Oh!
have only rolled a 7, so they might get wire because...
I'm afraid not, no.
No, just out again. So Conrad's really bringing home poor work for me today. And then these guys will flank into the Templar like that. And then my Ghouls will amble up 6. Big 6. Exciting. So we're going to go to remaining moves, which is going to be the big man himself, Big Mannfred. And to be honest, I think he's just going to fly himself to about here. Doesn't need to. He'll test a march just quickly. Yeah, so he's got a bit more if he wants it, and he will take it. He'll just fly back to about there. And that will allow him to piggyback this Wraith or pivot, and then screech his way up 12 to join Mannfred. That Wraith has been a real MVP there, this game. So, a bit of magic for us now. 9.
With my Dispel scroll off the table, I'm a lot less confident than I previously was. Only 2 channels for me now. Don't get any of them.
Oh, I'm tempted to reroll that 3. It's bold. It's bold. So stupid. Yes, do it. Use Master Black Arts to reroll the 3. Oh! That was big. So that's a double 6 magic phase for Mannfred. See if he can make more hay out of that magic phase than he has his previous ones. Okay, so we're going to start by going 2 dice on Mannfred, and we're going to go for a Spirit Leech onto your level 4 Light Wizard. So this one is 1d6 plus both of our respective leaderships. You see Mannfred's eyeing him up there. He casts it on a 7, which is ridiculously cheeky and very not cool.
I'm going to use 1 dice.
Oh, he's going for it!
I need a 3+.
Oh, you love to see it, Tim. So we're going to go 2 dice again, and we're going to go this time for a Caress of Laneth on the same character. So this one's 2d6 minus his strength. Wounds him on a 4+. That's a much better result.
That is a much better result.
13, lucky for Skaven.
Now I'm going to use 3 dice to dispel this, because I'm going to need his -4. He's added 4 wizard level to dispel further spells, so I can do without him dying here.
I do agree with you, sir.
So you had 13, I believe, so I need to roll a 9 on these 3 dice. Which I do not, only an 8. So he's going to take that damage.
Ooh, that's very rotten luck. So 2d6. 1 hit, sir.
Yes, he's got a 5 at ward.
I've got to wound him yet.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
So on a 4+, I do wound him.
And he rolled a 2. So he does indeed take that wound. Now, unfortunately, he has broken concentration. He cannot add his wizard level to future dispels.
And on a 5+, Mannfred uses that wound to garner more power. He does not. What a shame. So,
imagine my disappointment.
Oh, you hate to see it, man.
I mean, no.
No. So we are going to go for 3 dice this time, I think.
I'm going to remove this card. It's no longer really in effect.
Now we're going to go 2 dice, and we're going to go to reroll hit rolls on the Hex Wraiths with Van Helsdale's Macabre, because we'd like to try and get through him now. We will do that on quite a lot.
I'm going to have to let you have that one, I think.
It's a 12. No, it's 12, yes. I'm then going to throw 2 dice again, and this time I'm going to go for the reroll failed to wound rolls option, which is Hellish Figure. There you go. On the same regiment. So they can reroll hits and reroll wounds against the steam tank. They certainly can, this time on an 11.
I'm going to have to let you have that one as well, I'm afraid. Because I'm not adding the +4, I'm just on a straight dice roll now.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for those low dice rolls I might be able to ping off with a 2 dice dispel.
So we're going to also go for a Soul Blight on that steam tank as well, to reduce its toughness, see if we can get the points for it. And that's another 11.
Now this is the one that I'm looking at stopping here. It's not great. I've only got a 1 in 12 chance of stopping it. Let's see if I can.
Oh, I thought you'd done it.
Yeah, me too.
I
for
thought
a second.
5. If you could pop that on there for me. And I've just got 2 left. And what I'm going to try and do with these 2 is I'm going to try to actually hit a Fate of Bunia. So I need to roll a 9 on 2. That's quite cheeky. But I'm going to try and Fate of Bunya, your BSB, actually.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get him off. So I need a 9. Nah. It's good, but it's not right. Other catchphrases are available. So, that was a good magic phase. It was a very good magic phase. So, it would have been nice to get into those knights, and they're definitely still a bit of a problem for me, but I think we're whittling away. So, shooting, I don't have any. So, shall we start with the Templar Grandmaster fight, as he's quite excited?
Okay. I shall attack the zombies. The reason being, although he does wound automatically, even if he kills one of the ogres, he's still got the maximum number of attacks back anyway. He does have that 5-up ward as well, whereas the zombies have no save against these. I'm hitting them on 3s.
You want the guaranteed resolution.
And, oh dear, that's only 2 dead. Nedley will also attack. He hits on a 3. He misses.
Shocking. So, I'm going to go for the Crypt Horros that I can fight you with, which is 4 of them. So, 1, 2. Now, I don't have a champion or anything like that, which we did discuss earlier, but to remind everyone. So, these are going to be 4s to hit you, because I'm weapon skill 3.
Yep.
But 6s are poisonous. So, not too bad on the poison front. In fact, very good on the poison front. And then we're going to need 4s to wound, because he's toughness 4. So, pretty good haul there. But only -1. Now, what's his save like, Tim?
He does have a 1+ save. He's got full plate armor and a shield, and he is on a barded horse.
So 4 of those are on a 2+, mate.
He does take a wound, though.
Oh, that was a bit luckier than I thought I'd be.
I think the wounds are the least of his problem. The static res is going to be a big issue for him here.
So he's got 4 attacks from the zombies. These will be 5s to hit him. Excellent work from the zombies there. It's the sort of shift I look for them to put in.
He should actually have 6 attacks against him. He's on a 25 mil base. So,
yes, yeah, that's a good point. He actually should be slightly further over, shouldn't he? Because he's attacking the zombies.
So you get to attack.
Let's throw 2 more. Oh, we hit him!
There you go.
Oh, I thought Tim's goodwill was going to come back to bite him then.
So we look at the combat res now.
So I've charged him in the flank for 2. I've got 2 ranks in these zombies, and I have a flag in my zombies too. Now Tim's done 2 wounds, so you lose the combat.
You also did a wound as well.
Oh, I did do a wound. So
I lose by 4.
4.
He's leadership 9 down to 5. Well, we've seen how well my leadership tests have gone so far. Yeah, he's Auskies.
I thought he was gonna stay.
Now, before I roll, James has to decide what his units are doing.
So he will flee from the biggest of my units, which is just our numbers and models, which is actually my zombies. I will pursue with everything because I would like to kill him.
Oh, he goes on 12.
Oh, you'll love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a big score. So, zombies, this is going to be the... No, I'm going to do the Crypt Horros first, because I'm going to let the zombies have the glory. So, the Crypt Horros are going to chase 8. That's a good roll, but it's not the 12 these zombies are going to throw.
Good, but it's not right.
Yeah! No, 6. So, 8 for the Crypt Horros, 6 for the zombies.
He goes 12, which would put him in the middle of the Hex Wraith unit. He then would keep on fleeing through the steam tank. He would then be in this gap here. Now, I'm not entirely sure he can fit in that gap because he needs an inch either side of him, but he might be able to. Let's have a look there, mate. He can indeed. He just squeezes in there. He does, however, flee through an enemy unit, so that is a dangerous terrain test for him. On a 1, he will take a wound with no armor save. He does. He's down to 1 wound.
That's a shocker, mate. And then onto the main event that I've stacked about 12,000 spells onto. So we've got our horses going first. So these guys are hitting you on a 4. It's 4 of them. And they re-roll their hits now, thanks to the Van House. And they're wounding you still on 6s because they're only strength 3. But they do re-roll. So it's going to be 2 wounds. 2
plus saves, he's okay.
And then the ones that we really care about, which are the riders, these are 4s. And they re-roll thanks to the Van House now. All hit. And then these are now 4s because they're strength 5 to your newly toughness 5. And again, thanks to the hellish vigor, they'll re-roll that as well for 4 wounds.
Drops down to 2.
That's a big round there. And it's not going to be enough to stop them getting flanked by all those knights. Or purposefully exploded by Mr. Richardson. So I think that's going to be the end of Vampire Count's turn 4. So we'll move on to Empire turn 4.
Okay, so we're in Empire turn 4 now. We are drawing the noose around the last survivors. We're having a bit of a Custer's last stand here. And knights, they don't stand around waiting for death to come to them. They strike the enemy hard. So for that reason, these guys are going to charge there. However, before I do that, because I forgot, I'm going to do 5 steam points with this.
Roll a 2.
Anything but a 2, and he does, in fact, miscast.
Oh, it's a misfire as well. It's a proper misfire.
So, what does he do? D3 plus 5. It's an explosion. Now, this is maybe not the best thing, because I'm going to hit my own units as well.
Yeah.
So, I'm hoping that my armor save is going to protect me now. So, let's see. It's 2d6 on my knightly unit. They are hit 8 times at strength 4. So, it's 3s to wound myself. So 6 wounds, but I do have a 2+ save. This is what I'm relying on here. So here comes the big dice rolls. Yeah,
lovely.
Now this is something of an issue though. The Templar Grandmaster, he is also in range. So let's see how many hits he takes. He takes 9. Now he is toughness 4, so I'm relying on a combination of his toughness.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I should have Doom and Darkness that block. It would have been all curtains.
So there you go. He's not wounded very much. This guy laughs in the face of an exploding tank.
He needs to.
He does have a 2+ save. He's only got 1 wound left. Remember, he took that extra wound on the dangerous terrain. So I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to string this out.
Ooh, you liar.
He died on the second one. And he died twice.
Twice. Oh my gosh.
So he's dead there. And now on the Halberdiers. So that is a 6. Now they are killed on 3s. So 5 of those die, and that is not enough for a panic test. That is 1 less than was required for a panic test.
So they will panic from the friendly unit within 6 being destroyed.
They will indeed, yes. Actually,
so I will take that.
So do they run off the board? They are now leadership 8. They are.
Oh, they love it.
Now the Hex Race were hit. Doesn't make
I love how worried Scott his face was when you threw those dice as well.
The ogres are hit though. They take 2d6 from 4 hits. That is a mighty 5. That's very, very disappointing. I was hoping for more than that.
4s?
5.
5.
So 2 wounds though. So not
bad.
terrible.
Well, I haven't passed the regen on these yet. So let's, other than the cannonball regen when I had the better one. He's passed one.
One of them goes through. But the steam tank is in fact exploded.
Got 2 left.
So the knights. Ooh, blimey. The knights are going to charge through that gap into Konrad's unit there. They can't fail. I'm going to roll anyway, just for the lulz.
Just for the lulz.
Now, I'm maximising to this side, because if I do manage to cast Soulfire, the Warrior Priest is in contact with 2. Although I think it's the whole unit, to be honest. But I will double check that, surely. Yep. So there we go. Move those in there. I don't think it's going to hugely matter.
It's smart though if you bust through in 1 turn because you've maximised this way.
These guys are going to Musician Reform now and fail, but they do have the Battle Stand Bearer in the unit, so they're going to fail that as well. But they are going to
do a regular reform.
They are going to reform just regular, like so. That should bring Mannfred into the Ark of the Light Wizard.
It's just worth pointing out as well, Tim. If you overrun there, you would hit the zombies as well. It's certainly not impossible. It's unlikely. But it's not impossible. You've got speed. You've got Birion's time all though.
So we're on to the magic phase.
Well, you know,
the magic phase gives me a 4 and a 2. That's not great. Might be enough for what I need it to do, though. I do have the Warrior Priest.
Pessimist.
I do have the Warrior Priest channel, and I have the Wizard channel. Neither of them do.
Let's try Mannfred. He's all I've got. Oh, he does. What a cheeky boy.
Very nice. Very nice.
Ever the pessimist, Tim. That's why I was a 6.
Well, I'm absolutely not going to cast Birion's Time Warp, because I'm going to cast Shem's Burning Gaze on Mannfred Von Carstein.
On 6 dice.
Oh, yes. Yes, Sam, it's not irresistible. It's a good roll, though. I've cast it on 10, 21, 25. So I think James is probably looking at a double 6 here. But let's see if he gets it.
Oh, it's a rotten roll, really. But 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
It's not bad, but it's not nowhere near enough.
10. It's not as far away as you might think. It's 21.
Okay, you may as well have rolled 1.
Still too far away though. 2d6, strength 6.
2d6 shows 6.
Oh,
now,
it could be about to be the end of the world from us.
It's no banishment, that's for sure. That would have been better. But let's see how Shem's Burning Gaze gets on. A double 6 here, and this could turn the game around completely. Or I could fail to kill him even if they all nothing.
Oh.
So it's he is toughness 5.
He's toughness 5, yes.
So it's 3s to wound. And he is wounded 3 times.
Well, it's -3 to his armour save, so he's going to rely on the fact that he's got 5 wounds and he's going to go down to 2. Whoa, that was a scary one.
That is all my dice, however, so that's the end of the turn. I'm just going to pass these back to James because oh, sorry, no, they're still on.
This
one isn't, is it? So there you go, James.
Thank you, sir.
So we get to combat. We've got here, now, my Templar Grandmaster is no longer in the unit, so they are no longer immune to psychology. They are going to roll their fear test. They are not fearful, because they are mighty sons of the Knights of the Blazing Sun.
Yes, mate, let's have it. Let's do it.
So, we're going to go in combat order. It's going to be Konrad Von Carstein to attack first, then the Knights, then the Skeletons, then the Warrior Priest with the Great Weapon. The horses will attack at the same time as the Knights. So Konrad Von Carstein unsheathes both his swords. Luckily, he's stupid, so he's got 1 less attack than he normally would have. So he's only got the 4, only. But he does have Red Fury, so he's going to be able to attack again with any wounds that get through.
So he gets 5, actually, because he's Sword of Wardenhof, he's paired.
Of course he's got paired.
So,
sorry, yeah, no, my mistake.
He's going to obviously have to go to the unit. Now, he does have Hatred as well, this boy. So he's a pretty scary guy. His weapon skill 7 as well.
There was the possibility for my champion to challenge. I didn't, because if I had done, I assume that James would accept with his champion. And I'd rather chop through the unit.
Yeah, that's what champions are made for. So lots of misses, but fortunately, he gets another go because he hates you.
Oh, he does, doesn't he? Yes.
So he hits you 4 times. And he's strength 5, so these will be 2s to wound. Empire Knight's toughness 3. So he's got 3 there. And then -2 to save.
So I have a 3-up save. 1 dice.
Just 1. Now he's got Red Fury, so he gets an extra attack, which he hits with, and which he wounds with.
He does not kill.
Knight.
So now it's the Knights to attack back. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 1 for the champion, 6 attacks. So they're hitting the Skeletons. However, I'm going to put 3 of these on Konrad himself. So on the unit. I'm hitting these on 3s. Oh, they all hit. Very nice. I'm charged strength 4 plus 2 because I've got Lancers. 2s to wound. That's 3 wounds. I could have done with that on Konrad, to be honest.
I don't have any armour against that, but I do have parry saves. So I'm going to take those, and I'm going to fail 2 of them. So 2 dead.
Now, these are the important ones. These are on Konrad now. I'm only hitting him on a 4. He's a lot more skilled than a skeleton. So let's see how this goes. 2 hits. I do hate the enemy, though, because of my Warrior Priest. So I don't hate them very much, though, apparently. Now, he is toughness 5. Or possibly 4. Let's see what we roll.
He's toughness 4, mate.
I need 2s to wound him. He is wounded twice. He has only got heavy armour, I believe.
He does, mate.
So he is dead.
He is very dead. Slain.
At the same time as that, I get to attack with 5 horses. One of them would have to have attacked Konrad. So I'm going to take that away because he's already dead. So that's 4 on the unit. This is including the Warrior Priest horse, because the Warrior Priest horse doesn't have a great weapon. He also doesn't hate the enemy either. So it's just 1 hit.
3 or hits.
Sorry, 2
well.
hits. Yes, no, 2 hits.
Weapon skill 2.
4 to wound. 2 wounds. Wow.
So I get my armour this time though. 5 plus. Oh, you love to see it.
He saves them both. So now it's the Skeletons to attack back.
So I think that we're going to put 2 wide ourselves onto your good talk, James. Onto your Warrior Priest. That's the words. Use your words, James. And these will be 5s.
They certainly will.
Or is he weapon skill 4?
He is weapon skill 4.
So these will be 4s.
They will be 5s. He has the Cloak of Auric.
1 Cloak of Auric. 1 hit. 1 wound. Yeah.
He is toughness 4, but that does wound him. He has a 3 plus save. He's got heavy armour. He's on a barded horse. And that wound goes through. He's got 1 left.
He's got a 5 plus wound save from his white
Oh, no, sorry. Yes, he does, doesn't he? Yes. Which he fails at. So thank you.
So, on to the regiment now. These will be 4s. So, 3 hits. It's pretty good for skeletons. No, I've got an extra attack in there because my champion. And then these will be 4s again. So, 2 wounds this time.
2 plus saves. They're okay. Now the Warrior Priest gets to attack. I'm going to say he has 3 attacks. But I could well be cheating there.
2.
I think he may have 2 as well, but that just strikes me as being a bit rubbish. Well, he is a bit rubbish. He's only got 2 attacks. So, he hits on 3s, though. He has weapon skill 4, so that's 2 hits. And he's strength 6, so he is wounding on 2s. So that's 1 wound.
Ah, rotten. 6 plus parry. No, not quite.
Shazam.
So, this is this is certainly...
So they killed a knight, or Konrad did, and they did a wound to the warrior priest. They have a flag. They have 2 ranks for combat res of +5. I did 2 wounds on Konrad. I did 3 wounds on the skeletons. I charged, and I have a banner also. So I have 7, take 5 away from each side, and I win the combat by 2. 2 skeletons crumble.
So 2 skeletons will die.
Well, that's the end of the Empire turn 4. I think it's going to be a final stand on Empire turn 5. But let's see how many of the dreaded enemies we can take down with us. We had a good go at Mannfred Von Carstein, but now I think we are into end game.
End game. Yes, mate. Okay, guys, so we're moving in now to Vampires turn 5. Coming towards the business end of the game, and it's going to be a charge-tastic turn, which is definitely not a word I made up 30 seconds ago.
I'm just, sorry, just to interrupt. I'm very disappointed that when I charged, I didn't say ride out and meet them. This is the day we draw swords.
I think we're all disappointed you didn't say that,
yeah, just thought about it.
So I'm going to start with the Hex Race, and they're going to declare a charge onto the unit of Halberdiers with your characters in.
They do need a terror test.
They do.
Let's see how this goes. This has been going really well for me all game. And it's been going the same. They do have a battle stamp there in there, so I will be re-rolling that one. Oh, they're okay.
I saw the 6.
Woo, mama!
Okay, so we're going to charge the Crypt Horros into them as well.
Now, we did measure this off camera. The Hex Wraith and the Crypt Horros are exactly 50-50. So James can choose whether he goes into the front or the flank. I assume the Hex Wraith will be going into the flank and the Crypt Horros will be going into the front. Is that right?
And you assume very correctly, sir.
Cool.
And now if Mannfred is also going to go for it as well.
I believe he may also be in the flank.
I think he can do a bit of both as well.
He is actually in the flank.
Okay,
yes.
so he's going to go in on the flank, and do we want to put the Wraith in as well? Do we?
I see absolutely a reason why not.
Well, let's do that too then.
Okay.
So we can foul with the Crypt Horrors, but unfortunately none of the others can foul, I don't think.
Do you mind if I move them in for you, James?
Yeah, that would be lovely, mate. I'll roll the Crypt Horrors though, guys, which I need. We measured this off camera. It's a 10 to make the charge, and I'm 6 inches of movement, so I need to roll a 4. And they certainly do. Unlike the skeletons of the day, they've very much decided they want to party. So I might even, I think I won't be able to maximise any more than that.
In fact, sorry.
So we can't do a lot else with a lot of these other units. So these guys are just going to have a little reform.
Do you fancy charging the Knights with the zombies?
Not really. In fact, they're just going to have a little reform too. So that they're going to go in line with those Knights. So, no, we're good. I'm going to stay there. We're going to go for some magic spells. This could be all over on a miscast now.
Well, it could be. You've only got 2 wounds left.
Double 2. What do you do with that, ladies and gentlemen? Do you re-roll it with Master of the Black Arts? That's what you do. Yes, we'll have 7 to your 5, sir.
As I still have 2 channels for now. I'm going to do much longer. I make neither of them anyway.
And 1 for me? No. Now, I should point out, it's a real difficult decision when you got a double like that to re-roll it, I think.
I'm not sure I would have done, if I'm honest.
Yeah, certainly at this point in the game, it's
I would have relied
on
Mannfred's death magic to try and get me some more of those.
Yes, but I can't cast very many now.
No, that's true.
So I think what we're going to do to start with is we're going to go 4 and we're going to go re-roll hits on the bubble from Mannfred. So all units re-roll failed hit rolls within 12 of Mannfred. Oh, that's a great roll.
That's a great roll. And still mesmerised by the Essex pronunciation of bubble. I'm shocked into inactivity, so I'm going to let that one go through, I think.
So Mannfred will immediately regain his one of his many lost wounds now through sheer fear. So where's that one there? That is somewhere. He's over there, in fact, I think.
Oh,
if you could put Van Hals down around all of those guys, that would be lovely.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And then I think for my second trick, Mr. Von Carstein is just going to bubble up, reroll fail to wound rolls instead.
No, I won't give you the card back, just hold it to you.
If we can get it, but it's a little harder to cast this one. And we won't on that, I'm afraid.
No,
it's a 16 on the boosted version.
Sad Dispel noises.
So, I'm going to do the one that I like the look of me winning first, not the one where my skeletons just die for the banter. We'll start by making you take a fear test on that regiment.
So they fail the BS. He is not waving his flag enough.
Insufficient waving has caused the problem.
I would say that Ostermark does not raise stupid soldiers. They are right to be terrified.
So we go in initiative order, and Mannfred is going to be up first.
Now he is in base contact with the sorcerer. Sorry, the wizard. So he can either attack the wizard or the unit, or he can divide his attack. So the wizard only has one wound left, so it's up to James to decide whether he wants to do this. It's worth pointing out that he does this in initiative order. He decides when they attack. So were Mannfred to put, say, 2 attacks on the wizard, fail to kill him, he does still have the Wraith and the Crypt Horror able to attack the wizard.
He does. So he is going to put 2 attacks on the wizard. And the reason he's going to is normally he wants to put 3, but because we're re-rolling the hits, I think we've got a reasonable chance here. So we're hitting him on a 3 because we're weapon skill 7. And then we are wounding him on a 3 because he's toughness 4. 2 wounds. Wow, go on, Mannfred.
So he does have a 5 up ward save. Oh, he is dead.
So we'll pop up a dice there, just remember for combat resolution. And then we're going to throw Mannfred's 3 remaining dice onto the unit. All hit again, don't know why we bothered with spells. And 2s to kill this time. So only one, 2 ones.
Disappointed, I was already taking the second one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So next up, I actually think it will be you, because everyone else has got great weapons or initiative 2. I think my steed is also 2. I will check, but I'm pretty sure he is. So you might as well organise your attacks, good sir.
So my battle standard bearer should have made way at the start of the combat. He didn't. I would have made way to contact Mannfred, which would allow Mannfred to put his attacks on the battle standard bearer. As I didn't do that, it would be very unfair for me to do that. So he's going to make way to the front of the unit, and he's going to attack the Crypt Horrors. Let's just imagine that he's there. So, he has 3 attacks. He is hitting on a 3. He hits twice. He is wounding. He's 4, which is quite tasty, but he's wounding on a 5. For 2 wounds. Wow, he is not impressed. He was too busy wounding your Crypt Horrors to wave his fight. In fact, that reminds me, I did fail my fear test, didn't I?
So 5 is 5s.
5, actually. Now, I can't remember what I actually rolled there to hit. So,
Well, you know what? We'll just take them.
Oh, that's right. That's
because it might come a Crypt Horror.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
So 5 plus 3 gens on the Crypt Horrors. Oh, makes 1, fails 1. So he's down to 1 wound.
Now the Halberdiers get involved. I have 8 Halberdiers that are going to attack straight forward. One of them's a champion, so that's 9 dice. Now I have remembered that they've failed their fear test, so they're hitting on 5. Doesn't make a huge difference. It only would have been 1 extra hit. And they are wounding on 5. They are strength 4 with their halberds for 1 wound. It's going to be enough to kill 1. Whoosh,
yeah,
it is.
He's dead.
So the joint efforts of blowing up the horse's engine and the Halberdiers kills one of the Crypt Horrors.
So he's taken 2. So I'm going to pop the dice next to him just to keep track.
I do have 2 Halberdiers. Sorry, 3 Halberdiers. I've moved over to attack Mannfred. He has 3 wounds left.
He does. This could be it.
This could be. I'm hitting him on a 5. It's very likely. But let's see. It's incredibly likely.
Oh, that's right. So I'll go through with my horrors next. Everything else is initiative 2 or less. So I'll do my horrors. And to be honest, they're just going to chew up whatever they can for the unit. So I've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3, 4, and 5 left. So these are going to be 3s because they failed their fear check, and 6s are poison. And we re-roll those hit rolls thanks to that juicy Van Howes. Oh, that was a little bit outrageous, wasn't it? And they're strength 4, so these would be 3s to kill.
Indeed they will.
Straight through Tim's armour as well. Oh, and another very good roll. So he's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11 dead, and I knocked that one over. So it's 11 dead.
So I now have 11 dead. I have 2 remaining Halberdiers. So that is the standard bearer and the champion. and the battle standard bearer.
Okay. So I imagine. Well, I'll let you tell me what my wraiths will be in. My wraith horses will attack simultaneously, so I will have got just 2 of those to kick at Halberdiers.
Probably 3, to be fair.
Okay, I'll check that in. So I failed the reroll to hit on that one, so I'll do the 3rd horse. Misses and rerolls to hit from the Van House. 2 hits. And then these are going to be 4s again. 2 wounds, though, from the horses.
Now, these have a 6-up save against this. So I passed 1, so the champion survives. The standard bearer is dead, though.
Okay.
So now he's only got attack from 1 wraith, and it has to be on the battle standard bearer.
It certainly does. Who is unwounded, so I'm not going to kill him.
He does have the armour of Meteoric Iron, which unfortunately he's no good against. He does have the war save.
1 attack hits him, and it's going to be a 3 to wound.
It is. He's a tough old boy.
Oh, no armour saves.
No, that's apparently straight to his ward. He
No.
takes a wound.
And the Cairn Wraith can't actually get into
He
the fight.
no longer can attack. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. I am on double 1s.
Well, I got 2 star. I got 3 stomps yet.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it will be 3 as well.
Now, the average toughness of the units here is actually 4
4
now. So he will be winning me on 4s with these.
No, he won't. He won't be winning you.
Now, it is a double 1.
It is.
Unsurprisingly. I do have Hold the Line on my captain. He counts as cold-blooded, so it's 3 dice, ignoring the highest. So his first attempt, you can tell I'm confident. Well, he was double 6, which is normally great, but not at the moment. So let's not be using those dice again.
That's ridiculous.
He does get the battle standard bearer reroll.
Yay!
And he carries on fighting.
Because he's crazy.
I mean, that to that.
If you can pop Mannfred across, because he will have to stay in the fight, because he can follow the retraction.
I believe that the only reason he did that is because he's so embarrassed about how badly my BSB is painted. He doesn't want to run away.
Wants
so
to be on the table for longer.
Absolutely, yeah.
And my Wraith will turn round because he's now freed from combat. So you'll just sort of
Dobby the Wraith there.
face the other way. He's had a great game, that Wraith. Talking on things that have had less of a good game is these skeletons. So a fear check for your knights, please.
They fear not.
No, they do not. And they actually kick me in the face first.
They certainly do. Now, I have 5 attacks on these. Now, I'm going to be... sorry, I've got 6 attacks there. My champion is not going to issue a challenge, but he is going to attack the champion. So, I'm going to have 4 attacks on the unit. I need 3s to hit. I don't get my hatred this turn. For 2 hits. I am strength 4, however. So it's 3s to wound. 2 wounds.
Okay. Well, I've got 2 6-up armor saves. Oh, and a 6-up parry. No.
So 2 attacks on the champion. These hitting on 3s. Oh, no hits. Oh dear. The horses, however, I've got 5 horses. This includes the warrior priest's horse. That's far more like it. 5 hits.
4's the win.
4's the win. Always the horses.
Oh!
Always the horses.
It really is. So 5 plus armor save this time. And then, can we parry a horse? Nay. Hey!
Shocking.
And then...
it's all. I'd almost rather you pass all those parry saves than have that fun.
So I'm going to put... I've still got a champion, so he is going to attack the unit, and I've got 4 guys that are going to attack the warrior priest.
Okay, makes sense.
So this is going to be 5s on the warrior priest, because of the white cloak. Just the 1, but that's all I need, baby. And 5's to wound. No. And on the regiment.
4 hits. No, 6. Sorry. Yeah.
It's not too sad. And then the same again. No.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So, yeah, not so good this time, guys.
So the warrior priest, he's going to swing his hammer. He's going to hit twice. He's going to mulch on 2s. He always fails one of his rolls.
Cheeky parry. No.
Parry this.
So, we'll work this one out. So, Tim's done 5 wounds this time, and he has a flag. So, he's on a 6. I have a rank, and I have a banner. So, I'm going to lose by 4.
Oh. I think for chances on, that would have been good.
Yeah, it might have been. So, pop them out of the way. And we're going to say sayonara to Vampire Counts turn 5. And bonsoir to Empire turn 5.
Okay, so now we hit hard into Empire turn 5. So let's see what we can do. The Battle Standard Bearer and his champion buddy. I'm feeling it for those guys. But let's see how it goes. So
I'm rooting for you.
Yeah. Movements. Well, that was good. The magic phase. I do still have one single magic user, and he has got 8 dice to play with.
He can channel as well.
He certainly can.
Now, I get 1 channel from Mannfred.
He ain't going to, but he could
No.
do. No, he doesn't.
No, neither did I, but I do get 2 dice because I did 2 wounds with his Sword of Unholy Power.
Cool.
So they act as Dispel dice now.
So he is going to, first of all, cast the spell, which is the fiery goodnessy one.
Soulfire.
Soulfire, that's that one. Again, it's a bound spell, so it's cast on a 3+. He's going to use his 5 dice to cast that one.
He's 5 dice.
He's hopefully going to roll a double 6 here. It's innate bound, so it doesn't cause any problems if he miscasts. He has not miscast yet, although he still hasn't miscast. That's a good roll, though. He's got 20 he's cast that on. Not bad, considering it's 3.
Go on, then.
Okay, so they're going to do 5 hits, effectively, at strength 4.
+1 strength, isn't it?
It's his strength 4 with the +1.
Oh, okay.
So 3s. I'll do 5 wounds.
6 off saves. 5 then. I've got
Okay.
a unit champion. Yeah.
He's got 3 left.
Turn.
He is going to cast reroll fails to wound on his unit. Well, he is, but I don't think he's going to get it off for very long.
No.
Can you roll more than 4 on 6 dice? Is the question. Yes,
on
you can.
8 dice.
Oh, 8
yeah.
dice, there you go.
Yes, very much dispelled, sir.
So not bad, though. He's got rid of that whole unit. Not it's going to make a huge amount of difference at this point of the game, but here we go. So let's go into the combat phase. Let's start here. Do you have anything you wish to say, James?
Take a fear check and have a challenge.
I have passed my fear check because of the warrior priest. Well, actually, they're knights, so they should 8.
Have at.
And no, I don't think I will. It's a challenge. Thank you very much.
Boo.
So my warrior priest goes to the back. If the warrior priest was on 2 wounds, I certainly would have accepted that one.
Oh, 100%.
But as it is, I need to get the maximum amount of fighting in. So it's 2 from the champion, 1 from the guy next to the champion. So it's 3 attacks. I need a 3 to hit. And I need a 3 to wound. Ah, there you go. I do, however, have 2 horses. And as we all know, it's the horses who do the killing. And they get 2 hits. Horse to wound.
The
Now,
desperation in your face.
Normally at this point, I would make horse noises. But I'm not going to because this is a professional channel. 1 wound. There we go. That's enough.
Oh, 5+ armor. Oh, here comes on the parry. Ah, yeah, he's dead.
That's what you get.
I didn't even want him to style. I just wanted to parry you for the ban.
So that's the end of that one. And these guys are going to reform like they are. Actually, I'm just going to move the warrior priest over there. Now, I was tempted to reform to stop the ghouls from charging me in the flank, but they actually can't because they can't fit in there. No. So they are actually safe from the ghouls this turn, so that's quite tasty. Let's go here. This is where the heroes are made. A fear test for my battle standard bearer and champion compadre. They are loving life. So James is going to attack first.
Mannfred is going to issue a challenge.
I have to accept there's nowhere I can go with my champion. To be very honest, it makes no difference at this point. But
so 5 hits.
Yep. He did.
That is a very big overkill. And because he's a vampire on a 6, he eats your blood for sustenance.
Oh, yes. We've been forgetting about that.
Yeah. So no, he does not drink your blood for sustenance.
He does only get 1 power dice for next turn as well.
Yes.
So the BSB gets to attack now. He's going to attack straight forward. He is going to hit 3 times. He is mad for it, this guy.
He's loving it, mate.
He is going to wound on 5s, and he's going to get 1 wound.
5+ regen. Hoop! So I'm going to go with the 3 Crypt Horros I can attack you with.
May I suggest that you attack with the Wraith first? I know it's a bit unusual, but if you wound him, I am dead. So it'll save a lot of dice rolls.
You got a 6+ regen, haven't you? So we'll do the quick one out of order for the Wraith. So 4s, no, re-rolling. He hits, and 3s, he wounds. So it's a 6+ ward save. No.
So although that was out of order, it saved a lot of time dice rolling there. If you're playing in a tournament, that can be very important. He is dead. these units can now reform. That's the end of Empire Turn 5, and I am going to make an executive decision here. Sorry for everyone who was hoping for the final turn, but that's the end of the game. Unless James particularly wants to see the end of my Knights unit, which you're more than welcome to.
I mean, I might want to see the end of your
Go on,
Knights
let's
unit.
do that.
I'm a big meanie,
Let's
so yeah,
do that.
why not?
Let's do it indeed. Sorry, James.
We'll mess about with these.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a few little shenanigans with my reforms. And the first one is that. And the second one will be to reform these guys a little bit like this. So you've still got Arc of Sight to the back of that regiment, but they're not going to get blocked by the regiment that I turn sideways. And then obviously the big man himself is just going to turn to face. And that's all I can do there. So on to Vampires, turn 6 then.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, time to make it count. Oh, I'm having a good day. I love that there's just a raw silence from both of you.
Yeah.
Max would be laughing right now and he'd be joining in. I want you to know that. My X-ray.
Yeah, no way.
I'm not encouraging you. My X-rays will charge the rear of your knights.
So that is a terror test. Now,
It is.
normally, were this to be at a tournament, game 3 or 4 or 5, these knights would flee to try and conserve their points. There's quite a lot of points still left in that knight unit there. However, no one wants to see that, do they? So I am going to stand by. I do need to take a terror test first, which they pass.
They love it. So let's. Mannfred's also going to be a brave boy. Again, probably not what you do in a tournament setting, but he's also going to go for it too.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure you can get in, to be honest. But okay, yeah, that's fine.
Well, you are wider than my regiment.
Let's see when we get to
So,
it. Yeah.
let's see what my charge range is, because we didn't actually check that off camera.
Sorry, for Mannfred, he is not very far. 12. We'll see him.
And the Wraiths?
They are 11. So Mannfred can't fail.
And the Wraiths need a 3.
Could on a triple 1.
Yeah. Which they are going to be alright.
I'm assuming the Ogres are going to charge as well?
No.
Oh, right, okay. Well, in that case, you can definitely get it.
Because I think they're just going to get in my way, to be honest.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do with these guys here is I'm going to bring them up. Then I'll pivot their 90, and then I'll bring them in and shut up as best as I can, which I'm just going to slide that across. Did a boop, and then I'll do a little boop there, and then Mannfred is just going to tuck himself on the end. Now, I know his gigantic wings are going to be a pain. We're just going to tuck him there.
That's fine.
He'll be fine. So, that's all we're going to do on that side of it, I think. So we could have charged these in for combat resolution, but it's
charge me if you want to.
I think the thing is they're going to give it away either way, so I'll just stay put.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll do a bit of magic. We're not going to worry too much about the remaining movements. And we're going to get a 2 and a 1.
You going to reroll any of those, James?
I think I'll reroll that 1, Tim. It's very good of you to say, and I'll get a 2 and a 2.
That's not too bad. 1 channel from me, the Warrior Priest. Oh dear. To be fair, he's got other things on his mind.
So I'm going to channel. I'm not. But I'm going to get an extra power dice because I did a wound in the challenge last turn with the Sword of Unholy Power.
Yep.
So, I am going to go for 3 dice. Bubbling up. Reroll fail to hits on everyone within 12 of Mannfred. I certainly am on a 20. That's
I'm going to have to try and roll a double 6 to stop this. This is one that I can't really let go through. It's very unlikely, but let's see. No.
So... that's going to go on to him, which is around somewhere. I think it's over there.
Yes, it's alright.
And I think Mannfred's actually got a wound still to regain. So I think he's going to regain that now.
Okay.
And then Mannfred's second trick will be to reroll fail to wound rolls, but he's going to put that onto the Hex Wraiths.
Okay.
Because he's not going to get a successful bubble. He certainly is on a 10, and that's cast on an 8. And that one is called Hellish Vigour for you guys at home. Not the spell of reroll fail to wounds, even though that's what we all know it is. So, combat. I'm very scary.
Yes, you are.
Please take a very scary test.
You are very scared.
You are very scared. So, we'll start with the big man, Mannfred. He's got 5 attacks, hitting on 3s. And he's going to put... he's going to put 3 on the Warrior Priest and 2 on the Regiment. So, the 3 on the Warrior Priest are going to be on 4s, because you've got the White Cloak of Ulrich. Ooh. That's where you get that reroll hit spell, Tim. Punch in the air. Or just the 1 hit.
Could be enough though. He's only got 4 plus save, so he's only going to have 6 of save.
So, but it's a 3+ to wound.
It is, yeah, true.
He fails it. 2 on the regiment. Both hit, obviously, and 2s. Both wound, obviously.
3s to 7. They are okay. The dwarves that made this full plate armour getting their money's worth here.
So you can put 2 guys onto Mannfred, the warrior priest, and the other one.
Well, I think they would be rude not to. So I'll do with the warrior priest first.
Although he does
misses twice.
That's rotten.
How shocking is that? Luckily, he hates Mannfred. Let's see how much he hates.
Does have to go last though.
He does. Sorry, yes.
That's all right.
But I'm going to do it first.
We'll do it anyway.
He hits him once.
He hits him.
He's wounded him on a 3+, and he wounds.
And he is, and then I'll be taking that wound.
Okay.
Because I don't have an armor save against 3/6.
Good point. I forgot about that.
And the
Knighty, he misses. He does hate him though. Not much.
And then the 2 steeds.
Oh yes. They don't hate him, but that's 1 hit, and it does not wound.
So Mannfred's going to throw his 1 steed and the steed of the Hex Wraith next to him. They're both the same initiative. Onto the warrior priest, and the other 4 steeds are going to go on to the unit. So I'll do the unit ones. These are going to be 3s because you failed your fear check, which luckily they reroll hits on because of my spells. And then these are going to be 4s, which they do reroll wounds on. So it's going to be 3 1-up armor saves, sir.
Okay.
Okay, and then we've got the steed that rerolls hits and wounds, which hits the warrior priest and doesn't wound him, but does reroll that. 2 wound him.
Is this from the Hex Wraith?
Yeah.
So he's on a 4+. This is in a minute. This is the day of the horses, clearly. No, he's okay.
And then Mannfred's steed is strength 4. So he misses, but he can reroll. He hits, and he needs a 4. He doesn't get it.
Oh, loves it.
It's not going so well now. So 5 Hex Wraith attacks on the regiment.
This is where the sad face comes in.
So these are 3s, and they reroll. Need these, and these are then 2s. And they re-roll. Rotten. 4 wounds.
4 dead. So they're going to be on a double. Let's see, actually. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The standard bearer is dead. The champion stays alive. So you did a charge in the rear. You did 4 wounds to me. And you have no flag. I no longer have a flag, but I did do a wound on Mannfred. So I am, in fact, on double ones. Only just, though.
Yeah, just. This is where the dice come back to you.
Can he be as brave as the
Make you play your last turn.
No.
So they will pursue you, obviously.
How far do they flee? They flee a mighty 9.
It's good. So the Hex Wraiths are going to try, as they've been such a great unit for me this game. And they are going to throw a big 11, and they're going to round it off for me.
Very well played.
Well played, brother.
Yeah.
Tough game. So let's do it in the debrief.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so having worked out the end of the game there, it was an 18-2 win to the Vampire Counts because we had a 1,795 point difference thanks to Tim's army list. So that said, obviously points don't tell the whole story of a game. So what was your what do you think the biggest moment of the game for you was, Tim?
I think for me, the Shem's Burning Gaze on Mannfred really had the possibility of completely changing the game around. If he died, the crumble checks would have been very, very bad. And I think you didn't see there was a gap there for my Templar Grandmaster. If I could have assassinated the Necromancer, which I did, then I think it would have been a very different story at the end of the game.
I thought that was really great play actually with the Necromancer assassination. I think it was nice to be bold like that, and then you've got because you're thinking those turns ahead.
It cost me my general, but sometimes you've got to make that gamble. I mean, he was going to die anyway. So sometimes you've got to make that gamble.
If the steam tank hadn't have exploded, though, it wouldn't have cost you a general. So I think from that point of view, that was a pretty big moment for me when that exploded because it still had quite a lot of wounds, and I probably would have got it, but it would have took me quite a lot of time.
Yeah, potentially. That one I was quite disappointed with. The other one exploding, I thought it's going to do more on an explosion than it is if it just gets ground down by X-ray. So I thought it was worth doing.
It didn't have a lot of wounds left, did it? The second
it only had 2 left, yeah. The first one I was disappointed with. The reason I went for 5 steam points was I wanted to get 3 in the grind for those 3d3 hits, and also 2d6 strength 4 hits from the steam gun. Could have really swung that combat.
I completely agree. I would have gone for 5 as well. I think when you're in the hole a little bit in a game, you've got to risk it. You've got to take that chance. Now, that said, all right, that was your big moment, but what was your favourite part of the game?
I don't know. I quite enjoyed the glorious charge at the end from the outnumbered. There was no chance of my knights really winning, but they destroyed the
Other than
skeletons.
massacring that.
They destroyed Konrad. I was surprised how well they did actually, but that had a real epic feel about it. It's nice with the Knights of the Blazing Sun. In their background, they are famously known for charging and blinding the enemy with the lights off their helmets. So I thought that was really cool. It was quite awesome. A cinematic moment. I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool moment. I think you overestimated Konrad actually a little bit because that strength 5 against the one up of the Knights is such a scary place to be. It's that in the danger zone where it's possibly going to kill some stuff, but maybe not quite get over the line. I think that was. I did enjoy that. I've got to be honest because it's that epicness of the big charge. I think my favourite moment though, if I'm honest, was little Wraithy McWraith, as I'm not going to name him. Just absolutely one run in a unit of Demigryphs. I'll never do that ever again. Not ever. And I did it on the channel instead of like...
It's always... You always do those.
Ralph's against me. I do that. It's fair to say. Cool. So what do you think you'd do differently if we played the game again?
I think I'd probably not send you my list in advance. I think that's probably the main thing that I wouldn't do.
So full of it.
No, the thing is with this Empire army is it's very, very finely tuned. Against almost any other opponent, it's very, very hard. We played a practice game yesterday against Wood Elves, and it absolutely wrecked face.
Yeah, it really hurt me.
With the amount of ethereal you've got on the table, it's very difficult for me to counter that. Realistically, I only had one turn with the Wizards, maybe two. So maybe made some changes with their magic spells. The order that I did them in.
I thought you had rotten luck not getting the banishment.
No, I mean,
not getting the option for the banishment.
It's one of those things. I think maybe swapping out the armour of Meteoric Iron for Magic Sword might be a good idea.
That would have been cool.
Which I thought I had done, but I didn't. That might have been a good idea. But I think overall, against this army, it was a terrible list, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a tougher list.
I think as on a more general tournament, it's quite strong. What would I do differently? If I knew I was playing this list, I would go for a lot more infantry. I would make it more infantry heavy. Maybe not take any Demigryphs. That's quite controversial. Demigryphs are seen as one of the best units in the Empire army. I think against vampires, they're probably not their best.
Yeah, they struggle a little more, don't they? I think one of the things that's probably worth saying for you guys at home is that when we first talked about putting this game together, you were going to use the kind of classic Life Wizard build as well. Yeah. And I asked him if he would not do that. Because we could get like a tighter comp score, and I didn't want to use the sort of same vampire list they use quite a lot. So we had a chat about that, and
to be honest, I think using the Light Wizard was probably better for me than had I have used a Life Wizard anyway. Because I've got the magic missiles. I nearly killed Mannfred. You know, I was 2 dice rolls away from winning the game. Something I wouldn't necessarily have been able to do with a Life Wizard. Yeah, so.
I agree. I think the steam tanks, though, I just don't think I would have killed them at all. If you'd have had a Life Wizard.
Oh, well, you didn't.
Because you'd have, you could have. But I mean, like, the fact they got to that place on the table, you'd have just been like, that's really cool. You know, they're stuck there, but they're not giving away their points. And actually, when you get to the end of the game, it can feel like a positive to go, well, I used 150 points of Hex Wraiths to hold that 250 point steam tank out for the whole game. But actually, when you get to the end, that flips. Because you're suddenly going, that's really cool, mate, but I got 500 points you haven't killed. They're just sitting here.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, one of the big moments was the destruction of the nice model that goes together very well. The Mortis Engine, thank you very much. I could have instead of casting on the Mortis Engine, I could have cast it on the unit of Hex Wraith, destroyed that unit of Hex Wraith.
Yeah.
As we saw how effective they were going through that unit of Knights. I probably should have gone for the Wraiths. I probably got a little bit like big model syndrome there. I thought, I can take out this big thing, it'll explode in your army, it'll do that damage. Probably would have been much better exploding it later when it would have done strength 4, strength 5.
Yeah.
I've got the armour, so it doesn't really bother me.
It doesn't bother you too
You
much.
don't. So I think that was probably a mistake for me. I should have stayed with the plan and gone with the Hex Wraiths and blasted those out of existence first.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think at that point there was quite a lot of target saturation there. I thought I'd done all right in trying to make the decisions harder there. But I think like whatever the horrors were another option, which I think they would have been really badly hit as well. So it was a shame to lose the Mortis Engine because it's a lovely model. It goes together really well. But it didn't sort of do a lot in the game. But I think that's the point of good play as well, of going, well, look, it could do a lot in the later turns, so we need to get rid of it. I mean, it does have a Banshee Scream, which, with Doom and Darkness on Mannfred, you can get some
I certainly think, for me, 2 Mortis Engines are better than twice as good as one.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely a second one might have to make an appearance. So yeah, well, I want to thank you for coming down today and for playing the game with us. It's quite hot in the studio today as well, so we're.
That's why I'm rocking.
You're rocking the Raff and Nadal there, mate. But I want to thank you for coming down. I want to remind you all once again that Tim runs the world's largest Napoleonic Wargaming channel on YouTube, and I really would advise you to check it out. I'm not actually much of a historical gamer, but Tim does a really great range of different videos that you know, actually, there's some really great content on there. I mean, we've been friends for a long time. Anyone that knows us would know that, but it's a really cool channel. As ever, I hope you've enjoyed the game today. Thanks for joining us in the War Council for this competitive battle report. Make sure you head back to triplecrownwargaming.com to the Night of the Realm mustering ground to check out all of our other content. And you can now see Max in a share wig telling you to like, subscribe and share. Have a great day, guys.
Cheers.
Remember to tag your friends and like, subscribe and share today. What are you doing, mate?
I'm sharing.
It's not that sort of sharing, mate.
Oh. Head over to triplecrownwargaming.com and become a Knight of the Realm today.